End zone! Touchdown! They hand it off. Romero forges ahead. Touchdown, Hilltoppers! Happy Thanksgiving, football fans. Welcome to Durfee High School's Mac Aldridge Field. It's the 131st meeting between the Hilltoppers and the New Bedford Whalers. Great to be with you on Thanksgiving morning. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Chris Santos and Joe Cabral from New Bedford Cable. Great to have you guys with me once again. Great to see you. It's been a year.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it has. It's 131st, 78, 42, and 10 in favor of New Bedford. But for both of these teams, 1-2-8, 1-3-7. This is like their Super Bowl for them. A lot of these seniors not going to be playing much football after this, so it's do it today, Thanksgiving morning. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, and no question about that, Chris. Everyone looks forward to Thanksgiving Day football. We do our show on Tuesdays before Thanksgiving where we have at New Bedford players inducted into the Hall of Fame. They all talk about Thanksgiving Day football against Durfee. So the memories stay with you forever. And today, a chance for some players to make some memories here, Evan. And a beautiful day for football. Temperature right now 48, should be in the low 50s.
Yeah.
You can't ask for weather any better than this on Thanksgiving, as we can well attest to, because we've had some real bad ones. And the weather the last few days, the rain, it looked like maybe not the best, but it's outstanding.
It's all about that tradition, right? That's ultimately what it comes down to, is 131 times, one of the longest standing rivalries in New England, if not the longest. So it's something that every year we look at the schedule and we just look to see when is Thanksgiving, what Thursday, what's the date that it falls on. We kind of don't even look at the whole schedule. We always look right to Thanksgiving first, and then you start backpedaling from there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, after, some little bit of controversy last year, we won't go into detail on that, but this is a game, Evan, that probably could have been played at Fenway Park because they talked about having this rivalry played up there, and that would have been last night. Unfortunately, what happened last year kind of squashed that. I'm hoping that this rivalry gets back to normal, and maybe they can get that game down the road in the future at Fenway Park.
Yeah, set up a memory that, again, you'll never forget.
That would be awesome.
The only thing that could really make it better than what it is traditionally on a Thanksgiving Day, especially this year with teams with losing records, would be if they came into this one, Evan, with records that were reversed.
Right.
7-3 and 8-2, and
Sure.
you're playing for something big, and you're saying we have two outstanding teams. So that's really the only drawback on Thanksgiving. Other than that, we have it set up wonderfully for a tremendous football game here today.
Well, Chris, you mentioned, I'm glad you did bring up the Fenway thing, because you're 100% right. And, it's unfortunate that the last three meetings we have had incidences.
Yeah.
Last year, really the one that boiled over and was pretty ugly, quite frankly. And that was one of the main points I wanted to touch on when I spoke with both coaches over the last week. I visited New Bedford's practice last Friday, and I was here at Durfee on Monday. And ultimately, I asked both coaches point blank, it's about tradition, it's about rivalry, but it's not about who's throwing the first punch. It's about between the lines. So what are you guys doing as coaches and administrators in your schools to preach that and to get that into these athletes' heads, that it's not about Friday night fight night, it's about football?
Yeah, it sure is. And that was something that was actually taught this morning as I do a little pregame breakfast with the radio, Ed Pereira, and the officials are at this, and that was even being talked about already there. I saw them walk on the field. They went right to Taylor Brown. The whole crew talked to Taylor Brown. Then the whole crew went over to Mark DeBrittle, spoke to him. So I think they're all on the same page and hoping for a fun football day and not something that we've seen in the past.
I mean, let's face it, Joe, right? People know. Everybody knows what went on last year.
Yeah,
so
no
these
question.
officials come in, they're fully prepared. They
Yep.
know the history. They know there's so many returning players. They're not coming in here ignorant to what happened.
No question. And I think to your point and to what Chris alluded to, sportsmanship is something that cannot be lost in high school sports or sports at any level. And it seems as if in the culture over the last 10 to 15 years, starting even in youth programs, sportsmanship, and some of that starts with parenting, has really been lost. Yeah. So you can't minimize the impact of playing hard, playing well, and if you come out on the wrong side of the score, being a good sportsman about it. And some of that, again, has been lost at all levels. Hopefully it returns here today.
Well, before we go too deep into it, and I don't want us to get cut off by the bands playing either, so let's hear from the coaches and hear what they have to say at this moment.
It's unacceptable. You know, we've been relaying that message, you know, for a while now, throughout the beginning of the season till now, leading up to this game. It's going to be heated. It's going to get emotional for both sides, as it should. It's a rivalry game, and we expect that, but we expect to control our emotions and just do the talking with our pads and limit the stuff that we say to each other on the fields and just be a respectable team. Just have a great day. We're not trying to ruin anybody's Thanksgiving again. So we're just preaching to be respectful and just keep your mouth shut and play football.
We got to keep our composure. I think that's something that I've been really trying to emphasize. Where you can't let the emotions get the best of you, because when you do that, you do things that you shouldn't be doing. So I'm hoping that we can compose ourselves and our guys can just go out there and play football. You play between the lines and you play within the whistles, and that's it. Then you just move on and just go the other way. And I think that's something that we got to do a better job of, and I think that's something that we have been doing a better job of this year.
Yeah, so Coach Brown saying right there, keep our mouths shut, stop the chirping, just focus on the game. And Coach DeBrito saying, focus on the lines, the whistles, and not the other guy. Go back the other way, huddle up, and get on to the next play.
Yeah, but Evan,
it's that simple.
To me, that's not the problem. I think the problem is it's who's ahead in the fourth quarter, who's winning the game. Can the other team can control the emotions to take the loss? I think that's where it's been the most, Joe, where it has led to the controversy, whether it's New Bedford getting beat, or obviously whether it's Fall River getting beat. So both of that, toward the end of the game, I think that's where it needs to calm itself down.
And sportsmanship is also on the winning side of things. We see so much celebration again. When we were playing in high school or even in college, celebrating over what you've just done to your opponent was really not something that was prevalent. Now today, it's everything. You dunk on someone, you do the muscle pose. Everything is about celebrating how great I was and how bad you were. And it goes even beyond just simply the losers not taking it right. It's the winners. How do you win gracefully? How are you like Tom Brady rather than against, some of the other names that we could throw out there, where you go out there, you win, and you make sure the whole world, you flaunt it in front of everyone.
And it's a sportsmanship thing. It's not just for those who are losing. It's for those who are winning,
Absolutely.
too. Well, guys, Hilltoppers have just taken the field. The NJROTC and the color guard are out there. New Bedford's coming out on the field on your left side of the screen. Durfee going with a little different look here today. They have not used this look at all this season, an all blacked out uniform for the Hilltoppers. Usually they have some red mixed in, so kind of a different look. The two bands are on the field getting ready. Your final thoughts before kickoff?
Well, for me, Joe, I think this game starts with the line. Which line is going to be better, whether you're on offense or whether you're on defense? So I think for Durfee and New Bedford, which one is getting off the ball on offense and which one's getting to the quarterback in the run, obviously, on defense. I think it starts there, and then we'll see which skilled player comes to the forefront and makes memories here this morning.
I'm going to talk about discipline because we do New Bedford. We've done New Bedford for years. They've had a problem over the last, I would say, 10 years or so with penalties and lack of discipline. So you can't turn over the football, and you have to avoid those critical penalties. Unsportsmanlike penalties today will not play well because of the sportsmanship aspect, but they also set you significantly behind the chains when you're committing those types of major penalties. So let's talk about discipline, and in that, penalties and not turning the football over.
And, Evan, I think that's been something for Durfee this year, too. They've had a lot more penalties than normal during some games. So I'm sure Taylor Brown maybe wants to try to control that and control the emotions of this game, too.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, we see it all the time, right? penalties and turnovers are going to make or break you in high school football, and that's totally true statement here for both sides. Like you said, Joe, right? Both teams coming in here with just a couple wins, not a successful season per se. Nice to see some like opponents. We don't always see that outside the conference, but we did have that a bit this year, so it gives us a little bit to gauge on coming into today, even though we throw the records out the window.
Yep.
You know, but it gives us something to look at, basically. And, you know, for me, you know, looking at Durfee, only saw a couple games this year, but, you know, at least in person, I'm happy to see the offense coming around, because that was a big point last year after losing, you know, some of their key players the year before, like Jaden Lewis, Javon Holly, Jason Hall the year before when he got his 1,000 yards, right, in the 5-game season. You lose that kind of a spark, that's going to cause you problems the next year. And that's what happened last year. This team had a lot of trouble scoring. Last year, last week in the loss, they put up 22 points. That's got to feel good, even in a loss, coming into this game, knowing that the offense at least was doing something in rhythm.
Well, most of these schools now will have that, you know, extra week to prepare, being done with the playoffs. So I'm sure both teams are healthy, ready to go. We had Braintree against New Bedford. Colin Roderick's got knocked out of that one, had a concussion, but he'll be starting at quarterback today. He's fully healthy, so it's nice to have everybody ready for this one. And for them, it's their Super Bowl here on Thanksgiving Day morning. So let's hope it's a good one, fellas, and looking forward to the opening kickoff.
And Evan, I would say for New Bedford, you were talking about Durfee's offense. New Bedford has had a hard time at times running the football. They can't be one-dimensional. It can't just be about the passing game and Colin Roderick. They do have good wide receivers in Desmond Brunskill and Anthony Diacate, but they need to be able to run the football.
Let's take a pause here as we're ready for the national anthem. Both marching bands on the field as we honor our nation. I'm kind of going in and out of my ears with my own nose.
Whalers are lining up on their side of the field. Might as well be all day here. Could be. Please welcome Durfee High School Marching Band under the direction of Julia Klinger, Ryan Lewis, Erin Wilson, Janine Nabru, William Silva, Pedro Silva, and drum major Nikita King. Please remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Great job by both the Durfee and New Bedford marching bands here on the field. We had a rendition of America the Beautiful and then the Star Spangled Banner. So great job. Always love having both bands play together.
Yeah, nice to hear America the Beautiful here as well this morning. Beautiful, sunny Thanksgiving Day morning. Just want to remind everyone, happy Thanksgiving.
Just about ready for kickoff here at Durfee High School. Welcome you live to the broadcast here on Fred TV. Those of you streaming in New Bedford as well, we welcome you here to Fall River through the lens. We have cameras all over the stadium here, and should be a great day here. As Joe said earlier, just shy of 50 degrees here at kickoff. Light breeze, much better than yesterday. And Durfee won the toss. They have elected to receive, and so often, right, it's about who scores first in these games. Durfee hoping for an opening drive score.
Well, they're going to get the ball, and so they will, New Bedford will kick from left to right. That wind was a little factor on the field when I was down there earlier, Evan. It was pushing the ball around, so it's going to be interesting to see how the throw-in game goes for both teams. Out-of-town scoreboard already started at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
For Haven, blocks a Dartmouth punt, go right down the field and score.
Wow.
And the Blue Devils up 7-0 early on the Indians.
Yeah, and it's been
Their year.
their year, you're right.
Yeah,
it's
it has.
been some time since Fairhaven has had this type of season, so seems to be continuing here on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Our camera crew today, we have Ethan Lopez and Matt Mora from New Bedford Cable. We have Zach Souza, David Montero, alumni of Fred TV. We also have Cody Cabral, one of our Fred TV students currently on camera today. We have people all over the stadium. Great collaboration today in our control room. We have our director, Mike Ferreira, we have Alex Mello, Gary Leet, Craig Salvador, Dan Cabral from New Bedford Cable. Of course, our boss, Renee Kochman, in there as well. So full team effort, guys. Full team effort here today.
Yeah, and it was a good full team effort on that special teams for Durfee. They'll start in great field position from their own 39 as we start this game.
Hilltoppers looking for some Thanksgiving magic. They'll go to the ground on first down and a pickup of maybe a yard or two. Short pickup there for Durfee.
That was number 6, Andrew Sanabria, on the carry. Very hard to see the numbers here this afternoon, Evan, with the bright sun and then, of course, black jerseys with red numerals and the sun right in your eyes. So,
well, that's Joe. That's why we got Evan here. He's got the young guys that can see it, even though he's going to the binoculars early.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I said, this is kind of a different look. It's the it looks like a fumble on the play, on the handoff, and it looks like New Bedford has it. They do. So here you go, second snap of the game. And our first turnover, and a costly one at that. It's putting New Bedford on Durfee's side of the field.
Both times, fellas, don't look comfortable coming out of center, kind of waiting instead of that fullback getting in there, put in the belly and go, and kind of just drop the ball, and they fumble it early here on down number 2, and New Bedford gets the first break.
Look like Devon Shields on the recovery, number 51 for New Bedford. He plays 2 ways, so he'll stay on the field as an offensive lineman. It was interesting to see there Durfee staying under center for those first 2 snaps. Not something you see in high school football as much as you used to.
No, 100% true there, Joe. And now the Whalers faking the handoff, and a completed pass far side to Zachary Nunes. And he is in for the score. One play after the turnover, and the Whalers have taken the early lead here. Less than 60 seconds into the game. Rodriguez to Nunes.
Well, nothing special there, Joe. Just a little 5-yard out into the flat, and basically a blown coverage because there was nobody there for the Hilltoppers. No. And when he caught it, he just went down the sidelines for another 30 yards. And the first score, touchdown for New Bedford.
41 yards,
yeah,
Joe.
It's a 41-yard touchdown pass from Rodriguez to Nunes. Just get the ball in the flat and then set him in motion as a running back. And he had the whole sideline there, as especially on a first down play after a turnover. Sometimes the defense is a bit deflated. Extra point attempt upcoming here now from Brunskill.
Brunskill, the kicker. Fonts, the holder. Low snap, botched it a little bit. It's blocked by the Hilltoppers, so no good on the point after.
Watching them in pregame, they were struggling most of the pregame, really getting things the way they wanted it, and it showed again right there. Unfortunately, the snap, a little bit of a bobble, couldn't put it down. Next thing you know, everyone's in there, so it's blocked, and it's 6-0 in favor of New Bedford.
Yeah, the snap seemed to be fine. It was just, as you mentioned, Chris, the timing, a little bit of a bobble on the hold, and then Brunskill started to approach the football, had to delay, and never got the kick high enough, and it was easily blocked by Durfee. So it's 6-0, Evan.
So Durfee playing from behind here at home very early in the game. This is going to be a true showing of character for Durfee, as they have to now play from behind after a tough mistake, the fumble, of course. So we'll see if the Hilltoppers can bounce back here as they get their second crack at the ball.
Well, both ones were from under center. Is that normal for them, Evan, that they go under center, or they'll back up and get the shotgun?
No, honestly, shotgun more often. And, you know, a lot of times we see on Thanksgiving, right, try to do something different, fake out the defense early, give them something unpredictable. And I'm wondering if that might have been the thought here. Even something as simple as under center, if it's not something you're used to, well, you know, sometimes you have these issues. Eluding one tackle, Durfee's returner still on his feet across the 30 and taken down and around the 32-33. Not a bad return, had to run quite a ways, weave his way up there, but decent field position again for Durfee.
Yeah, I'll give him about 12 yards after the catch. He caught it around the 20. They'll get it at the 33, it looks like. So second possession, and Taylor Brown will get his quarterback and say, hey, you're my senior leader. Let's get going here and let's get the job done. So second possession, let's see how they come out with number 2, Keith Strong.
Hey, Keith, or KJ, as he's known by, you know, he didn't start the season as a quarterback, but he was the starter last year and, you know, got the nod later in the season, and he's been the go-to guy as they back to a more traditional look here for themselves. But a flag comes in, and it looks like might be a false start.
Well, Eric Lucas came off the sideline. He came off, talked to Taylor Brown, and Taylor Brown said, get back in there, and he went back on. He was never set,
right?
And that's an easy one there. And a flag. So just some miscommunication from the Durfee coaching staff.
So some jitters to get us started, I guess we could say, here on, you know, the primetime game, if you will, at 10 a.m. start, 10:15. But this is the big one today. So maybe some nerves. They'll get over them quickly, I'm sure, once the flow of the game gets going. But
we talked about discipline. You have a turnover and then a penalty here, setting you back against the sticks.
So 2nd and 15 here. And nothing there for Durfee.
Wrapped up by Guzman for New Bedford. And I alluded to, Evan, pregame, I think the line has to be whose is better here this morning. And right now, it's favoring New Bedford.
Yep, first couple snaps, that's for sure.
That was Andrew Sanabria again on the carry. Second carry in this possession.
Sanabria listed as a tight end, but getting some handoffs here early. Setting Gaston in motion, and another whistle and another false start. So not a good start, not a clean start here for the Hilltoppers at home. Been a tough 2 minutes.
Nice crowd here this morning on both sides. You can see across the field.
And it's been several years now, but what a facility here now, Chris. Just outstanding. Football field, the school in the background, and just a wonderful setup here now at Durfee High School.
You got the big tower clock on your right. You got the softball field on your right. You got the new baseball field behind you. Things looking sharp here in Fall River.
2nd down and 21. They'll go to the ground again. Actually faking the handoff. Now a shuffle pass, and I don't like that. That makes me very, very nervous, those lateral last-minute shuffle passes. Seen it more in the NFL, and I don't like it there. I don't like it here.
Yeah, and the line was ready for it, and they came down the line of scrimmage to say, hey, wait a minute. You faked the read. We're going to stay with the quarterback, but we also have the pitch man, and New Bedford was ready for the play. And if you got him 3rd and long on offense, you know you're in trouble. Let's see how Taylor Brown wants to pull this one out. If he gets a little tricky here at 3rd and long.
Yeah, again, running the option, Evan, and very slow developing. It's a 3rd and 22.
Yeah, and you know, Joe, I was just going to say that actually ended up going as a loss for Durfee. They lost a yard there. It was 2nd and 21. Now they have no choice but to try to go to the air,
nice
deep
throw.
pass, and almost intercepted, and then almost came up by Durfee. So it kind of bounced off the defender, and the Hilltoppers almost made a play on it.
Yeah, that was good judgment by Diakite to say, hey, I got the man, I got the ball, took a dive, but as Evan said, hit off his hands and almost went to the receiver's hands.
Yeah, ball was well thrown
Yes.
that time by Strong. It was right on the money because the coverage was good there from Diakite and had to break the play up. So if you're Durfee, you at least have to be encouraged by the fact that Strong looked poised and made a very good throw there, just not able to complete the pass.
So 4th down, 21, and Durfee has to punt it away from deep down the field. It'll land. Actually, it's played there, taken right at the emblem and across the 40, down inside the 40. Go to the Whalers.
That was Akari Nunes.
Yes, and probably the same starting position as they got after the fumble on the first series from Durfee. As we go back to Dartmouth, Joe, Fairhaven got the ball. They went for it on 4th and 2 on their own 20. They got stopped by Dartmouth. Dartmouth went in and scored, missed the extra point. It's 7-6 in favor of Fairhaven.
That's going to be a great game.
Yep.
I'll tell you. I mean, you're talking two teams that were hugely successful this season. And, Fairhaven, of course, going to get a chance at the Super Bowl as New Bedford goes to the ground. Not able to wrap up. Number 30 there, that's Goodine. And he gets a first down and then some there, a couple extra yards.
Well, again, the offensive line for New Bedford. I know we've only had 2 plays, but 2 successful plays.
Yeah.
And this is where they're winning the battle right now, Joe, in the trenches and then opening up to their skill players.
Also missed tackles, though,
Yes,
Evan.
that
You can
will
see
hurt.
there were 2 or 3 missed tackles on that play, on the touchdown pass. Again, opportunity to make the tackle, did not on Nunes, and now we have another New Bedford first down, this time at the 25.
Roderick's handing it off again to Goodine. This time getting pushed by the line and now dropped backwards. Forward progress should give him about 3 yards. But better job that time by Durfee's line.
Tiptoeing up front, Goodine gets to the left side. Probably picks up about 3 on the play. Up front, DeCruz, Shields, Montero, Thompson, and De Silva Pereira for that front line for New Bedford.
So giving him 3 yards there, Joe. 2nd down and 7. And like I said, Durfee's line there containing him a little better that time. See what the Whalers go to this time. They're going to stick with him. They will still stay on the ground.
That's Nunes this time, the ball carrier, number 7.
Big stand here for Evan, for Durfee, Evan. Really have to stop New Bedford here. Don't want to fall behind 2 scores this early in the first quarter.
Now, and you have to figure right now the momentum is in favor of New Bedford. Everything's going their way right now. So a nice stop, or 2 probably down stop, because you would think, unless it's negative yards, New Bedford will go for it on 4th. So, yeah, big possession with 6:53 and counting here in the first.
Should be 4 down territory, and
Yeah.
as I talked about in the pregame, New Bedford needs to run the football. They're doing so on this drive.
And they're doing well. They're having success with it. So let's see what happens.
Blitz.
High snap. Some pressure coming there. And Roderick's going to keep it himself. He goes down very close to the line to gain. This might be like inches if it's not enough.
And it's very close. They're taking a long look. And let's see if they're going to measure this one.
Yeah, it's less than a yard. Evan, key 4th down here, obviously, for Durfee on the defensive side of the football. New Bedford really stays generally in the shotgun, and I don't like the shotgun personally in short 4th and or goal situations here. Let's see what New Bedford does. It gives the defense an opportunity to make a tackle in the backfield.
Well, I mean, first of all, on the center, you get the tush push, get him forward.
Just
right now, look where
sneak.
he is. He's already 3 to 4 yards.
I know.
By the time he gets the ball.
Why not try a sneak? Oh,
He's
just
gonna
got
be
there.
close, but it looks like he has it, but it's close.
You know, I'm seeing the line judge from the
Wow,
far
that's
side.
a favorable spot.
Wow.
Because I thought he was leaning forward and
I
the ball
did
was
too.
over.
But the line judge from the New Bedford side of the sticks,
Yep.
they're going to measure.
Yep.
And I never understand that call where you're not prepared to go under center with a quarterback sneak. At this level, at high school football, the quarterback sneak is almost 100% when it's less than a yard.
I don't know if we have a replay of that one, Evan, but I thought it was a favorable spot, unless they were saying his knee went down.
And that's what I was looking for.
Before he leaned over. That's what I would be looking for on the replay.
The marker on the far side, they flipped it to a first down, but a little prematurely. They're bringing the chains out now.
Yep.
But we saw Godine. He kind of crouched as he was trying to sneak under the pile, and I think that's to your point. Did an elbow or a knee touch the ground there to mark him down?
Man,
this is going to be
Durfee's
awfully
ball.
close. But Durfee celebrating. The Hilltoppers will have it. They got the stop on 4th down.
Yeah, Joe, instead of getting 1 yard, you have to get 5 yards.
Yeah,
It's just not,
exactly.
it's just not, it's just not me. I would do probably something different, but, everybody does it. And so.
Yeah, it's throughout college football now. You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the high school level, to me, it really should just simply be a quarterback sneak, almost never stopped, and get the first down and then move from there.
Well, Joe, you called it. Durfee needed 2 big stops here on 4-down territory, and they got it. So Durfee takes over. I formation for the Hilltoppers.
Going deep.
Down the sidelines, he's undercut, and then it's overthrown. Slowed up a little bit. Good coverage there from Diakite. Diakite, excuse me.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, and that time under center.
Yeah.
And something you don't see in high school a lot anymore. Under center and a straight drop back.
Straight drop
Not
back.
a play action play.
Yep.
So that was just a straight drop back, 9 route, go down the sideline. You could see the ball slightly overthrown, but good coverage there
Good
from
coverage.
Diakite.
Looking for Ben Sherry that time. So incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 for Durfee.
See if they go with a sweep on this play or an off tackle. Nope.
Oh, dropping back
Going
again.
He's got nothing.
No, and now pressure coming. Don't go to the end zone. That's the wrong way to go. Throw it away if you can't get any yards. Oh, he escapes a tackle. Look at that run from Strong. He might have gotten a first down.
Sure, easily.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, a couple yards up the field. That's incredible.
A lot of poise there from the quarterback, Strong. First of all, he tried to stay in the pocket. He stayed there, he looked, he moved around in the pocket. Not something, again, you see at the high school level. Took his time, tried to find a receiver, could not, and then Evan decided, nah, I need to take off here, and came down this near sideline for enough for a first down.
Went through his progressions, went through his reads, saw it, and said, okay, let's go. Here's the off tackle.
Better than you see some of the NFL quarterbacks do sometimes. I mean, seriously, he did. He read every option. So that's going to feel good. That dug Durfee out of the hole a little bit. Nice, good conversion, and now a nice chunk of yards here on first down.
Yeah, and this run is the first positive yardage for Durfee that we've seen from the run game. That's got to feel good if you're Taylor Brown.
9 yards, Joe, on that one play.
Back to the I formation here.
2nd and 1. Looks like it was a QB keeper there,
Sure
right through the pocket, and enough for another first down for the Hilltoppers.
That's a QB keeper. It's essentially a quarterback sneak.
Easy to do.
Yeah.
And you gain 5 or 6 yards. And again, at the high school level and below, never, I'm almost 100% in saying it's never stopped. Unless there's a penalty, you always are able to push the pile.
So prime example right there, evidence submitted by Joe that New Bedford should have done that on their 4th down play. Handing it off, some space down the sideline here. They went to Jason Springer, number 5.
And Durfee has some momentum now. They're moving the football effectively with this formation, staying under center. That time a nice run by Springer. Another Durfee first down, 3rd on this drive.
And doing it behind Souza and Yentz on that left side too, Evan. So they found something they like, and they're staying with it.
You know, both of you guys, I think you know, at the high school level especially, right? It takes only a couple plays to get your confidence up. It takes one bad play to get it down. And for Durfee especially, this is a team that plays. They need that confidence. They need that little bit of a boost. So a couple good plays like this go a long way for the psyche of the team.
Running the option that time, Evan, and Strong keeping the football, getting to that far sideline. And Durfee's moving the ball now on the ground successfully.
Yeah, and that particular play there, New Bedford stuffed the box. They had 5 down linemen But, Joe, they didn't do containment. They got to make sure they keep the end where it is and get him upfield. Instead, he sniffed inside. Strong did the right thing. Great read. Get the outside and get around the corner.
That was good for 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3. And now far side of the field, open on this side. They're going to go up the middle. Late whistle and flag after the play had started. And penalty, first penalty on this drive for Durfee, and that's going to lose 5 yards for the Hilltoppers.
False start there called against Durfee.
So
a little bit of
2nd and 8, or 1st and 8. We'll replay the down.
You'll move it back 5 yards again,
Right.
as you mentioned, 2nd and 8. So Durfee moving the ball well here on the ground. And this is, I think, again, a coach issue here now with discipline of staying with the running game. Don't fall in love with, oh, we lost 5 yards. I need to throw the football. They've been moving it here on the ground.
So, so 2nd down here and 8. I couldn't agree more, Joe, as they hold a little bit here before this snap. Stay on the ground, it's working. If you have to throw it on 3rd down, there you go. Look at Strong. Taken off far side, and he has the 1st down as he's hit out of bounds rather hard, but that moves the sticks again.
And again, Joe, outside linebacker as well as the end have to have containment. If you're going to fall down inside, he's going to read that every time. Hold on the ball and go to the corner. And
Strength of the option, the strength of the option is that you have options. You have 3 options. Give to the fullback give, keep it as a quarterback, or pitch.
Look, no safety, 5 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and man-to-man receivers on the back. Now they dropped 1 back.
Fullback that time for the Hilltoppers, and that's first play for negative yards here for the Whalers defense. They're making a nice stop against Durfee.
And Chris, you talked about the outside, holding the edge. So if it's a down lineman, he still has that responsibility to keep the the offensive lineman on his inside shoulder, so he can control the outside. Set the edge. If you don't set the edge, the quarterback's going to fake the give, the fullback give, and just run the football. Watch here, again, for Strong. Run the option, keep the football. He's had great success to the far side of the field, Evan.
2nd and 10. Oh, now
17 jumped for Durfee. 81 jumped for New Bedford.
Yeah,
and,
who jumped first?
Who jumped first is the question. That's correct. So the far side saying offsides New Bedford, but the other guy's saying, wait a minute, I'm not sure. Oh, it's going to be on New Bedford.
It is.
Yeah,
5-yard penalty against the Whalers.
It looked like it was against New Bedford, number 81 on the play there for the Whalers.
Yeah, got into the neutral zone there, and that's why you saw the movement there from Cooper Long, right? Just got to touch him, and then there you go.
Jarvis Penrose.
So 2nd and 5 now. That helps the Hilltoppers as they're inside the 30 of New Bedford at the 28. Clock rolling here after a really long first 2 minutes. A lot happened in 2 minutes. We're 90 seconds to go in this first quarter. Strong did hand it off that time. Another fumble, and does New Bedford get it back?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Durfee has coughed it up twice here in the first quarter.
And Joe, it was going to be another big play on the edge, but he redeemed himself, and number 81, Jarvis Penrose, is the one who caused the fumble.
Here's the replay on that.
Yeah, far side of the field. Again, Penrose with the recovery, but not a hit where you would have thought.
Right.
He had to cough up the football, and Evan, you can't win if you lose in the turnover column.
No,
and they're already down, two turnovers, and successfully you just eliminated this drive where you had time of possession and you were ready to at least tie the score.
100%, Joe. They were driving. Durfee had a rhythm on offense, and down the field, more troubles with the turnovers here. Whalers hand it off. A flag comes in. Play still alive, out of bounds at around the 30.
Either holding or a block in the back on New Bedford. That's a given. It's just a matter of which one they want to call.
Holding called against New Bedford. You saw there on the carry a little bit of a delay to get to the outside. And so once you do that, the lineman set up one way, anticipating a run inside. You go outside. His tendency is he's got his hands on that jersey there to try to hold you. And then when that defensive lineman tries to release to the outside, holding is very obvious.
So first down, and we'll replay the down. First down and 20, backs up the Whalers to about the 10-yard line.
And Sha'Carri Noon's in the backfield.
Noons I had a chance to speak with at New Bedford's practice. You mentioned Jens for Durfee. I talked with him as well. We'll hear from some of the players. Look at this. Around, taken down, running into a wall. Rodriguez trying to do something with it.
Well, at least getting out of the 5-yard line. So he's gone from the 10 now. At least he got 6 yards on the play on obviously that big penalty, but had to do a little scrambling to get that one, as you see on the replay here. Enough to get some positive yardage and bring up second still long in 15 for the Whalers.
7 seconds on the clock, and it looks like they'll let it run down, and we'll switch sides here for the second quarter. Only one score here. The difference, New Bedford scoring on one play after the first turnover of the game. But Durfee looked like in a good position to tie or take the lead. Unfortunately, another turnover for the Hilltoppers late in this first quarter.
Yeah, and something, Joe, that I thought they found something on that offense to say, hey, we can run the ball against New Bedford, and they started to get it going. But unfortunately, turnovers is part of the game. Penalties are part of the game, and it's cost Durfee right now.
Yeah, Durfee, New Bedford had Durfee in trouble, let's be fair. Already up 6-0, had the ball inside the 30-yard line, 4th and half a yard, did not convert. Momentum, you talked about it, Evan. In high school sports, and obviously even at youth sports, momentum is just so important. And Durfee showed it. Got the stop and just moved the football down the field exclusively on the ground, but you can't turn the football over.
No. And, we've done enough of these games either together or on our own over the years, and I look at this and I say, except for the games that really were just blowouts from the start, Durfee tends to trail in these games. There's been a lot of those where Durfee trails, maybe 1 or 2 scores if it wasn't one of those blowout games, one-sided or the other. And come back in the second half and you start seeing more competitive. They clean up the mistakes. It's almost like that first quarter is really jitters, truly. And I'm wondering now as we get into the game, we saw the offense come around a little bit there at the end of the first quarter here on this next drive. If we'll see more from Durfee, and we'll see them continue to clean it up as the game goes on. Remember, they made it. It was only a 3-point loss last year. They scored very, very late in the game, but the second half was more competitive.
5 wide, bad snap.
The snap was not anticipated there by Roderick. Center snapped it too early. Colin was not ready for the football.
Durfee has it.
It's a turnover, and Durfee has it, Evan.
Unbelievable. I mean,
wow.
Roderick's just standing there saying, well, what are we doing? And the next thing you know, he hikes the ball, hit him in the helmet. Watch it here. Doesn't even know it was coming. Hit him in the helmet. Went off. He tries to get on it. He can't. And the next thing you know, Durfee's got the ball. So I don't know what happened here. I know the receivers were switching all over the place. They were going 5 wide,
There would have been
Joe.
a penalty on New Bedford, Chris, because men were not even set up. The players were in motion. It was a bad snap. It was an early snap.
Wow.
I can't even say a bad snap. It was just an early snap. Roderick was not ready for the football. Recovery there by the captain, one of the tri-captains, Nick Wood.
Yep, Nick Wood, another player I spoke to. Hilltoppers in prime position here to get to the end zone and tie up this game. We'll wait for the signal. Looks like maybe half a yard short.
Yep.
Yeah, mistakes.
Wow.
Again, showing here this morning. It's not even afternoon yet. And
goal line camera here.
Yeah. I get strong on the center here and just go with it.
And that's exactly the call. And let's see, is he in the end zone?
I believe he is.
No signal yet. Sure looked like it from our vantage point, but we're not on the line. Touchdown! The signal from the back official.
Nope. I don't think so.
No? Well, he put his arms up.
No.
He certainly
For
did.
crying out loud. That's not very good.
Finally.
There you go.
And that's why you go under center, because on consecutive plays, you just line up and get it into the end zone. And there's a touchdown by the quarterback, Keith Strong.
So both touchdowns off of turnovers for these two teams. We're tied up here 6-6 with 11:11 to play in the half. Durfee will go for a point after and try to take their first lead of the game.
So New Bedford shooting themselves in the foot with the turnover, and easily for Fall River to come in. And Durfee Hilltoppers are now up 7-6.
Ladanian Mendez with the kick. And the Hilltoppers with their first lead here on Thanksgiving morning. Their first lead against New Bedford in 2 years.
Well, that's going on here over in Dartmouth. The Indians drive 98 yards, Joe, and they go up 12-7 over Fairhaven. So a good one here, a good one there, and that's what you like about high school football
Dartmouth is home,
on Thanksgiving Day morning.
Dartmouth's home this year?
Dartmouth is home this year. Yep. They were pinned at their own 2, but they found the way to go 98 yards.
And just an outstanding coach there at Dartmouth High School, and Rick White. And it's not surprising that they're playing for Haven this well. So, Evan, we talked about turnovers, mistakes, penalties. We're seeing it here this morning. We have a 7-6 game in favor of Durfee, and you can tie those results right now back to penalties and turnovers.
Well, I said from the start, I was on WSAR, one of my former classmates, doing two of them actually doing the broadcast for WSAR, Cliff Ponte and Jason Springer. And Cliff always has me on before we go live because they're on so much earlier than we are. And he asked me for my prediction. I said 20-16 Durfee. And he thinks low scoring. He said, I think he said 14-8, something like that. Low scoring, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
The 20 is a possibility. The 16 is hard right now for New Bedford.
Now it's hard.
You need a touchdown and a field goal with a successful conversion. But you're certainly within the realm of being accurate here this afternoon as Durfee has a 7-6 lead.
Ball coming off the tee here before the kickoff. Chris, you mentioned the wind down on the field. And, of course, the last time you guys were here, there was, a 4-floor school where that softball field is now. And now open air coming right down from the top of Ray Street, down Wiedemo and down the parking lot. And certainly can be a wind tunnel. And that's the direction of the wind coming from that south. And they're going to have to hold it here. The Hilltoppers are on the kickoff.
Yeah, once the ball comes off the tee twice, you need to send in a holder.
Yep. Fielded at the 8-yard line.
That's Goodine.
Goodine still on his feet. Makes something out of really nothing there. He about 20 yards on that, Chris.
From your 9 to your 30, you're doing it pretty good. And that was all Goodine in my eyes. So good for him. And New Bedford at least gets a decent start from their own 30. Let's see, Joe, if they're ready on offense this time, because we haven't seen that from New Bedford in a long time.
That was just a bad mistake by the Whalers there, really unforced. And those are the ones that you have to prevent because it just goes back to your own discipline and preparedness. And when a turnover is not forced, when it's a play like that and it results in a score, it can be disheartening to the entire squad.
Going to the air, took him down. Wow, big hit and a late flag after the pass was off.
This is going to be probably rough in the passer because Rodrigues took a hit and a hard hit.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was Nick Wood over there.
Oh, no. Legal man downfield.
Wow.
On New Bedford.
Holy smoke. Not anticipated at all.
And the Brittle's beside himself right now.
Yes, he is.
He is not happy with this call.
I know Rodrigues took a big hit.
Wow.
But I didn't think it was a late hit. If we can, I don't know if we have that on ISO or not. I know we're seeing the replay of the completed pass. I don't know if we have the hit on Rodrigues.
Yeah, we'd have to have a look right down the line of scrimmage to try to assess how you can be downfield that quickly. The ball is delivered.
Watch. Now he's going to get it
in less than a
2,
second.
And he let the ball go. That's 2, maybe 2
that's
seconds.
in slow motion.
Oh, he's picking up the flag. He's picking up the flag.
Yeah,
Evan.
When you throw the ball that quickly, to have an illegal man downfield, it's virtually impossible.
Well,
I know.
Surprising, but they pick it up, and New Bedford will now be over midfield into Hilltop territory.
And here's another angle here. Yep.
Ooh, did he get hit, though?
He got blindside hit, but I think it's a late hit, and he didn't sit on him.
It wasn't a late hit.
No.
I think that's the right
That's the right
assessment
call
there,
there.
Evan. It was not a late hit. It was a hard hit, but it was on time, so no personal foul.
And no foul at all. So New Bedford into Durfee territory on one play. Gudine getting the ball across the 40 for a pickup of maybe 5 yards.
New Bedford has had their success at the perimeter here so far with their passing game. Even though it's been a short passing game, they've had success on the outside. Let's see what they continue to do on this drive.
So 5 yards there, 5 yards to go. Back to the ground again. And into the pile, Nunes. Did the ball come loose? No, Nunes still on his feet.
A hard run from Sakari Nunes right there.
And back to some bad tackling there from Durfee. They had Nunes at least 2 times there. He broke several tackles to come away with a first down for New Bedford.
Honestly, I thought Nunes was down at one point. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I thought they grabbed the face mask, and then he kind of snapped his head, and then he turned around.
Yeah.
And he went forward, but there was no flag. So let him play right now.
Well, as they say, right, until the whistle. So fresh set of downs. Roderick's looking, scanning, going towards the end zone.
Got him.
Has him. Touchdown, contested, and he comes down with it. That was
Desmond Brunskill.
Brunskill.
Well, he beat Alvin Gaston on that one. I thought it was still good coverage, though.
It
He
was.
got behind him, and the ball was well thrown. And we talked about that win. And you see how the ball kind of dove to the right? I think that helped.
It did.
Actually, Brunskill adjust and make the touchdown catch.
And it's a size thing with Brunskill. He's 6'5",
Sure.
Evan, a basketball player. New Bedford tries to get him on the outside in those 50-50 situations that we now hear so much of, especially in the NFL. Throw the ball up, high point the football. That time he didn't high point it, but 50-50 gets the touchdown.
The Whalers will go for 2 here, try to make it 14-7, but not before.
Well, Nunes came running off, and then something was wrong, and so they were going to go for 2, and they couldn't figure it out. So Mark DeBritto calls timeout on the play.
That time, a good timeout from New Bedford. You need the 2 points here because rarely do you see field goals in high school football. So if you fall behind by 2 points or more, you're really requiring another touchdown to take the lead.
Yeah.
So you can set yourself up. You're down by 2, for example. Durfee goes up by 9. Now you need 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 100%. Well, both squads getting back out there after the timeout. So Brunskill, I guess he found his jersey. We said he was wearing 10. He couldn't find the jersey or something.
No, so.
But now he's back. He's wearing number 2.
Yeah, he left it home.
He left it home.
Now
Well,
he's back on.
They found another 2, so that's good. Because
So
I
2 is
hesitated
back.
saying his name first. I
Yep.
said, what the heck?
He's
Pitching
gonna
it
pass
out.
it back to Roderick's.
Roderick's
One
open
on one.
field, and he's in.
Wow.
Wow, some trickery there from the Whalers, and it pays off. 14-7.
And a flag, probably for the celebration.
Maybe celebration there from Roderick's.
Yeah, we've seen already a lot of celebrations, even on some little plays in the middle of the field. So, Joe, again, it goes back to the sportsmanship thing, and you know when you see the pros doing it, you know they're the ones you're looking up to, if you will, and
that is the call. Unsportsmanlike. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So you can think you're doing, something to your opponent. You're really doing it to yourself.
Yep.
If I was the head coach here, you go over to Colin, hey, great job, but you just got us a 15-yard penalty.
Yep.
So now instead of kicking off from the 40, we're going to kick off from our 25-yard line.
Yep.
We're going to give up some significant field position here. And to your point, you see celebrations. Now they're going to start to escalate as the game goes on, potentially. And then that's what triggers something later in the game when everyone's kind of just had enough of it. So let's hope you can get it back under control. But
Well, now we even see in the NFL, we actually have like a dedicated camera in the end zone so they can line up and pose and do their celebration. And it's like, I don't know. I get it. Yeah, sure. But it's like, look at me. It's a team effort. It's 11 men on the field. I'm not a fan of that. I think it's getting overdone.
Yeah, but how many times now, like you intercept the ball and you score,
Yeah.
all 11 will come down.
I know.
And all 11 will pose with you.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I know.
it doesn't get to that one-on-one anymore. It's a whole team thing, and said, okay, let's enjoy it all. But again, it cost New Bedford. They will kick from their own 35-yard line. Excuse me, 25-yard line. And not a good kick.
No, not a good kick. Let it go out of bounds.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. They thought about letting it go,
Yep.
and then it didn't take a – that's good coverage there. Whaler special teams making a great play to keep Durfee right around the 35.
Well, I give Gaston credit there. He let it drop, Evan, to say, hey, okay, if it kicks out of bounds, I'm great. It didn't, so he had to pick it up. But
That's the
again,
right
good
thing to do.
pursuit by New Bedford.
Right thing to do.
Yep.
Well, see if the Hilltoppers can answer. Plenty of time in the second quarter. 9:10 to play before the half. Those of you joining us late, Durfee did receive the opening kick, so it'll be the Whalers getting the ball in the third quarter. We got plenty of time before then. Let's see how the Hilltoppers do here with possession of the football.
Strong kept it that time on the option.
Yeah.
Not much there. In fact, a loss, maybe a half yard or so.
I don't know what happened here, though, Evan. I know Taylor Brown was not happy with Eric Lucas, and Lucas is talking about on the sideline. He took his helmet off. He was upset.
Yeah.
And so something happened there with him, and I'm not sure what it was, but we'll keep an eye on that because he's a big player. They need him.
They do need
here
him.
this
Yep.
morning.
He's been a playmaker for his entire career here. That's a name that has been around on this roster for his whole high school career. So that was Springer, I believe. Yep, it was. Springer with the carry that time.
Great block from Santa Bria. I mean, he was all in the face of Guzman, and he was backing him up 15 yards. Wow, that was pretty impressive by number 6.
It's a big spot here for Durfee as they're shy of midfield, looking at a third and a long 6. This is a big conversion for Durfee standing in their way here. The New Bedford line trying to slow up Durfee's run that was very successful, the running game in that last drive, and not going to be anywhere near enough. Stopped at the 45.
Springer, the ball carrier.
First big decision,
I
Evan,
know.
Joe.
He's
Taylor
going
Brown.
for it.
See what
Taylor
he's got.
Brown.
Okay.
And I like it on Thanksgiving, especially with a 2-8 record.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risk you take, but you know you've proven you could stop New Bedford already once today down the field. They did that on 4th down.
Well,
So I guess why not gamble with it?
He's been going to the read and holding on to it and going down the line and getting the edge. Let's see if he does it again.
Trying to get him off sides. Oh, they almost did. That was so close. Design snap right there, and now a timeout. They did that purposely, and they almost got him.
Let's see if Taylor comes back and talks about it to say, hey, I'm now going to run this play. We see that they didn't jump, or do I go to the punt?
So if we have the replay, I don't know if we do, you'll see the linemen for Durfee with their hands on their knees.
Yep.
So they're lining up with their hands on their knees, and then on the cadence, they put their hands to the ground into the 3-point stance, and that's when New Bedford almost jumps. Watch it. You can see it here.
Yep.
See how they did that?
Design play.
That was designed.
Love it.
So right now, a decision here with, I guess, 7 minutes to go, fellas. You know, 4 yards in high school football, 3 yards in high school football.
I still think they're going for it.
Can be easily accomplished, but you're at your own 45. You've just given up a score. You don't want that momentum to really hurt you. And they're going to say, hey, we're going to take our chances. We're going to go for it. And I think you just got to keep it in the ball of Strong's hands.
So to your point, Chris, is the whole momentum swing, right? You score, you feel great, and New Bedford just scored again, so you got to be careful here. Yeah, New Bedford going to call a timeout here.
Because what happened was they were going back to the 5 front, 3 linebackers, 1 safety, and man-to-man. on the regular 2-back set. Durfee said, I'm not coming out with that 2-man set.
Yeah.
I'm only coming out with one. Now I'm going to spread it out. New Bedford was lost, Joe. Next thing you know, they got to call timeout.
Yeah,
instead
of coming out in the I formation, they came out in the shotgun, trying to get to the perimeter where they've had their success as well. And New Bedford with that 5-man front, they couldn't match up properly. And if Durfee would have run that play to the outside, they would have had something there.
I mean, for
probably more than enough for a first down.
All Durfee needs really is one solid block. For 3 yards, the way they have run it, to your point, especially outside, if you get just one block, that lead blocker for you should be doable. Big play here in the second quarter on Thanksgiving. 4th down and 3. The Hilltoppers hoping to convert. Pressure coming.
Look at the pressure.
Look at the blitz down the field.
Wow.
Reeled in.
Wow.
One-handed scoop.
Unbelievable. Was not even throwing to that receiver who was number 4 for Durfee. He was throwing to someone else. He came across the field, made the catch, and it is a first down. Unbelievable for New Bedford defense.
And, of course, we don't have a number 4 in our program.
No, we're trying to find out who that is. I'm sure Evan will get on that.
Caden Keefe coming down with that one.
Okay.
Not on our roster today, but that's all right. We'll add him in.
We'll add him in.
Caden, you just made the highlight reel on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Varsity.
Number 4, Caden Keith.
Wow.
Okay.
I mean, let's face it, right? That was a last-ditch effort by
and
Strong
it wasn't
to
going
get it
in.
up there. So, I mean, it's one of those Hail Mary plays, if you will, but doesn't matter how pretty it is. It was a first down for Durfee. Unbelievable.
And you have to give Strong credit there. He knew the situation. You've got to get rid of the football. So just throw it up for grabs. How often do we see that in the NFL and it doesn't work? But that's why on 4th down, you throw the football. As Chris mentioned, he wasn't the intended receiver, came to get the football, produces a first down for Durfee, and a big one.
2nd and 9. Strong keeps it out to the perimeter, as you said. Hands to the good stiff arm right there as Semedo was looking for a call, but stiff arm up towards the face there is not necessarily a face mask. That's clean running right there.
And again, work to the perimeter, out of the shotgun. Out of the I formation, where you're running what used to be called a veer type option. And enough for a first down again for Durfee. They're moving the football now at the New Bedford 35.
I formation, they go off tackle left on this one. Falls forward, probably gets around 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, not bad. Right up the pocket there. Lucas, by the way, still on the sideline. He has not re-entered the game yet for the Hilltoppers. Kind of standing alone, backside of the field. But 3 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 7. More forward progress, as you said. Yeah, Chris, clock running, coming up on 5 minutes here in the half.
Plenty of time for Durfee to settle in and get some points on the board before the half.
Strong rolling out. Quick pass near side, complete. Caught in bounds.
Ball was right on the money. That was well thrown that time by the quarterback, Strong, and the reception by Benjamin Sherry.
Sherry there. You're right, Joe. The number's tough to see, especially with the glare today. You know, the sun on the other side here. Durfee has some red jerseys with the black numbers.
Much easier.
Very sharp, much easier to read. Not always the home jersey, though, so. Springer dives, jukes left, dives forward across the 20, and the Hilltoppers into the red zone.
I thought that was Strong's best pass because as he was coming out of the break, that ball was already being released on the play before. So that was a good play out of him and a strong throw because they thought he was going deep on the play. You get the run here, pick up about 3, 2nd and 7 as the Hilltoppers continue the drive.
Down inside the 18 now. Red zone for the Hilltoppers. Strong trying to cut back and is smothered right around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. So that time to pitch. That time he needed to pitch the football.
Yep, and better containment from New Bedford coming up the field, forcing Strong to go back underneath. When you go back underneath, more white jerseys waiting for you.
So the key, obviously, Evan, when you're running, the option is make the right decision. First key is make the right decision. The give, the fullback give, the quarterback keep, or the pitch. That time, you could tell that Strong had predetermined, I'm going to keep the football. I've had such success. If he would have pitched it there, it would have been a big play.
Sure. 3rd down and 7 in 4-down territory. Right in the middle of the pocket. They hand it off. Good seam to the outside, to the 10, to the 5, and taken out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal for the Hilltoppers.
Samito's got to do a better job of shedding the block there and coming up and making that play, number 6 for New Bedford. He didn't do it. They get to the outside. They get the 1st down and almost a touchdown.
And New Bedford has a player down. It looks
Jose
like
Ayala.
number 9. Yes, Jose Ayala.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayala went right down and did not get up. And but that was Springer on the run there,
Fine
Joe.
run there by Springer. He bounced it to the outside. It wasn't initially to be outside the right tackle, but he bounced it to the outside, then ran hard and got it inside the 5 all the way down to, looks like they're going to mark it maybe at about the 2-yard line.
Probably down there with 3 minutes to go. That's still plenty of time, even for New Bedford, if they get some offense and get the ball back. We're at the half over in Dartmouth, where the Indians are up 15-7 over Fairhaven, a late field goal by the Indians. So they have an 8-point lead at the half.
We've seen some crazy field goal kicking this year, Chris. I don't think you were not at the game, but the kicker for New Bedford Voke, 40-yard field goal for McManus, Colin McManus.
That's amazing.
40-yard field goal that had room to spare. It was at least going to be good from 45.
Sure.
And he was outstanding this year.
So Ayala up, walking off, making his way to the other side of the field. And
it was a big collision there.
It was, yeah. And, well, you know, Springer, to your point, right, he bounced off. It didn't look good at first, and then he got free, and then you have 2 players, 2 bodies in motion at full steam. You know, the collision inevitable there. Durfee now at the 2, 1st and goal, trying to answer New Bedford again.
I'm keeping this in Strong's hands.
At this, you're so close to the...
Yep. I mean, trip backfield, full house. But
yeah, full house backfield.
Pushing forward, cross the plane, and it is a touchdown for the Hilltoppers. 14-13. Replay right here, goal line camera.
Yep. See who gets the edge, and the edge is the black jerseys on the left side.
Yep.
So once again, they continue with Souza and Yentz.
Got the block.
Going on that side, and a good one from the center as well, Gonzalez.
Led the way. Point after, on its way. High kick is through the uprights, and 2 for 2 with the point afters. We're tied 14-all, gentlemen.
Yeah, it started off where it looked like maybe New Bedford could get some early control of this game. They had the 6-0 lead, had the football marching, had a 4th and less than a yard from inside the 30, could not convert, and then with that, Durfee started to have some success offensively. Now they have a pair of touchdowns on the board. New Bedford has scored once as well, and we have an ideal Thanksgiving Day football game, Evan, at 14 apiece.
Yeah, and Evan, I don't think we have the stat, but time of possession would favor New Bedford heavily, and yet we're tied at 14-all because you're making the big plays. The one and only took 1 play when they got the fumble way down there, and then, you know, a 1 drive here. So the time of possession means nothing. When you can create turnovers and capitalize on them, good things are going to happen. And that's what Durfee's done. That's why we're tied. 2:56 to go. Still plenty of time left. Let's see how New Bedford handles it on the offense.
Yeah, this is going to be a big test for Durfee's defense. these final 2 minutes here, see what they can do, because you know New Bedford's going to open their bag of tricks here. They want that score to end the first half, and then they get the ball for the third quarter. So if I'm the Hilltoppers, I'm looking to contain as much as possible, avoid that big play that you're talking about. Short kick here. Wow. Almost like an onside kick type of thing. I mean, they didn't bounce it, but and now a flag comes in late after the play.
Just a little pooch kick there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do that in high school football to try to find an area where there's no one to make the return, and it's not an onside kick, but a ball you can recover.
Right.
That time, too close to the middle of the field. Usually want to do that toward the sideline. Marker here, though, now being marked off against Durfee, and it's a personal foul. That's a 15-yard
that's
penalty.
tough because with 2:53,
yeah,
you don't want to give that up and give better field
yards.
position. Yeah, better
so
field
now the
position.
football's going to be right at midfield.
That hurts.
Not a good time for, well, never a good time for personal fouls, but definitely not here. So New Bedford is going to have a short field. They'll start at Durfee's 49. So 1st and 10 for the Whalers as they line up here. 2:53 to play in this first half.
Don't have to get pass happy here, Joe. You know, still got a lot of time.
Plenty of time.
But they're going 5 wide.
Roderick's passing the
Ooh,
near side.
I don't like that.
It is picked off. Intercepted by Alvin Gaston.
Yeah, so totally gave that play away. New Bedford
100%.
New Bedford has run an empty backfield only once prior to that down. They did it to the far side of the field, but it was the same play call, a wide receiver screen, and that time Gaston was just too smart.
Listen, if you're wearing black on this side, I think everybody knew what that play was going to
Yeah,
be.
saw the empty backfield.
I mean, they couldn't wait for him to throw it.
I know.
Because they knew it was coming.
And that's where you need diversity in your offense. So you can run empty backfield, but you can't run that same play as your only play. It works once when the defense is fooled, but the second time, it would be shame on me if I didn't realize that was a wide receiver screen upcoming.
Sure. Well, what a change of events here. So Durfee now with the ball on New Bedford's side of the field at the Whalers 41. They have possession, 2:48 to play in the half. They'll go to the ground, pitching it out.
That time handled properly by the quarterback, Strong. He was going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage, pitch the football. They end up coming away with just under 5 yards.
Toughest part about that was it was the short part of the field, Evan, so they
no
ran
room.
out of room.
If that would have been on the wide side, he would have had
That's what I mean.
a lot of running room.
Yeah.
You know, looking up and down Durfee's sideline, there's one familiar face who's been at all the games, and it's a former player, Eli Brooks, who came back. Eli had an amazing career, 2,000-yard rusher, and down the far sideline, a flag comes in.
I think that's going to be holding on the wide receiver.
Yeah, and Durfee's
Downfield,
coaches not happy at all.
Not needed at all. Downfield with a hold.
Yep. Coach Powers and Coach Brown pretty steamed at that flag.
Yeah, they're going to call that player off the field. They're going to say, you can't do that downfield. Come to the sideline. Let someone else go in for you here.
Yep. So that's a killer. But I was just about to say, so Eli came back. This year he was hired as Durfee strength and conditioning coach after playing D1 football in college. 2,000-yard rusher senior year here. Really an amazing player. And that kind of spark as well, mentality for the Durfee sideline. Someone who's been there, who's had success. I know he's connected a lot with the kids, and he feels back home here at Durfee. So that I got to talk with him formally for an interview preseason, and I know that I think his presence has had a big impact as well on this team.
Joe, they're stopping the dive, but they're not stopping the option.
No question. Straight drop back this time.
Throws
That's
it
got to
away.
be, well, no, shouldn't be intentional grounding. There was a receiver in the area.
Did it get back to the line of scrimmage, though?
I believe it did.
Yeah, if you're saying he's in the general vicinity,
Yes.
that's a little bit liberal there.
Yeah.
Because that receiver came back much later after the ball was out of bounds.
Third
And
down and 4.
New Bedford is protesting in that
Yeah.
regard, and you saw the referee saying, no, there was someone there.
spotted the ball wrong. Now they got it correct.
2:04 here in the half.
And even if that would have been a penalty, it was a smart play by Strong. You're going to suffer a big loss. Get rid of the football. Take a shot.
Yeah.
I'm sure he didn't know there would be anyone in the area. Just get rid of it.
Strong keeps it, diving across. And I think he's got enough to be very, very close.
Now he's keeping it every time now, Joe. So you gotta respect that once that one man is right there on the dive, I'm not even going to help him. I'm going to get off and make sure I get to that quarterback. And that's what the defense has to do and read it better.
And he's going to have to go to the wide side of the field with the pitch eventually here because he's had success, but New Bedford is over-committing now to the quarterback run.
Well, they got to work quickly as well because the clock is rolling with each running play here, and that's going to be an unsuccessful rush, and we're coming up on 90 seconds in this half. Clock rolling. No gain, 2nd and 10.
They've run that play, and that was the play that sprung last time, got them all the way down to the 2.
Right.
That was the same play. Santa Bria does a nice job coming from the left side to the right and knocking off that end to open that up and go.
No, they're coming, as you said now, kind of the weak side here, not a lot of space. That's a late hit.
Let's see it. There it is.
There it is, absolutely. That is, you can't do that either. So that's, and now it looks like the player may be injured as well.
Definitely a late hit, out of bounds.
Unnecessary.
And, that's Penroe again. He's had a
and that's
rough
Springer
game here.
Springer who got hit.
You can see that area along the sideline where it's white. So that's supposed to be a clue to the defender. When you see that player entering the white, even if you're really focused on making a tackle, you see them in that area, you've got to avoid the hit.
Here's the replay on that.
You can see on the white, second foot.
Yeah.
Easily.
And he takes the big hit.
And you know, too, that's something we didn't have. I know not as ideal for soccer, soccer plays on a very minimal field, very few markings, but we didn't have as defined football boundaries before. This turf brand new this season, as is the practice turf. And honestly, I think it's a big deal to have those kinds of markings. I get what they're saying from a soccer standpoint, but for football, you need that.
New Bedford's discipline breaking down here, Chris. Another offside against the Whalers.
Well, listen, Joe, I know this. I know this has been stressed by the New Bedford coaching staff. I know John Seed. I know Harry Lowe. I know Mark DeBrittle. They talk about this constantly, that we have to eliminate plays like this. How is a different way of doing it? But right now, it has killed New Bedford in years that we've covered them.
So 1st and 5, diving towards the end zone, marked down at the 1 with 60 seconds to play. That actually favors Durfee, to be quite honest. I mean, really, when you think about the time management now.
But they're going to go hurry up.
They're going hurry up.
Oh, yeah, push the quarterback over.
Does he get in?
Waiting to get the call.
Wow, we still haven't heard. No call yet. No. All right, well, it sure looked like it. He had a half a yard to go.
Still favors Durfee.
Still favors Durfee with the coaching. Again, Durfee's coaching staff saying, what the heck's happening here? Touchdown, Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers take 6 points from New Bedford's turnover. And it's 20-14 with 30 to play in the half.
Well, Joe, it's coming down to the battle of miscues right now and who can take advantage of it. And Durfee has done that more than New Bedford, and that's why they have going to be probably 7-point lead.
Easy to go back and really look at a handful of key plays, probably 3 right now for New Bedford that has put them in this hole 20-14.
The kick
Make it 21.
is good. 21-14 in what's become an offensive shootout here. And to your point, the battle of miscues. Good to see Springer up on the sideline. He's walking it off now. That was a real tough hit he took, but he's walking around now, closely monitored by our trainer, Kelly Mahoney. But Durfee with a lead once again, and now they'll have to protect with 30 seconds.
Well, with 30 seconds to go, we'll go to the half there. Dartmouth is back up on over in Dartmouth. Looks like some of them Fairhaven starters have decided to rest themselves, get ready for their Super Bowl next week against the Salem Witches. So they got their quarterback out and maybe a couple of other starters resting. So let's see if the Indians take advantage of that in their Turkey Day. Hey, Joe, think about it, though, because Dartmouth had an opportunity, lost to Milton, who went to the Super Bowl last year, had a lot of guys back. Got to give them credit. And they went 10-1, which is still a major, outstanding, successful season for Dartmouth. So they were a game away from going to the bowl as well.
And I did send a text out to Bobby Bailey as they go for the squib. Hilltoppers! Oh, it's going to go out of bounds.
Oh, Durfee had a chance for another possession.
Yeah. Wow.
New Bedford crumbling here. Mistake after mistake. That time they were not prepared for that was a true onside kick. Went off the hands of a New Bedford player, and it was there for Durfee. They just did not come up with it.
I sent a note to Bobby Bailey from Diamond, their athletic director, for an update. I haven't heard back from him yet. See how the Bengals are doing. They had a very successful season as well, just a couple miles south from here. Taking Springer taking him to the locker room, it looks like. So he was walking it off, but they're gonna take a look at him. So he's off the field for now. He's been a playmaker for Durfee offensively. Back to the game now. New Bedford on offense. Roderick's gonna roll out, has space, passing near far side, and then taken out of bounds with 17 seconds to play.
Brunskill's a weapon.
Oh,
Evan.
yeah.
He gets open, and he is just big and has good hands, plays basketball, as I mentioned.
Yep.
And is a fine wide receiver. If New Bedford can get the ball into his hands more often, he's a playmaker.
Well, already one touchdown reception today. Certainly remember him from basketball as well. And it's a first down for the Whalers at the Durfee 44. This is where we talk discipline, right? Durfee defensively has to be careful. Screen pass. A lot of room here, but with each rushing yard, the clock continues to roll.
One timeout left.
Yeah, one timeout, and it'll be called with 5 seconds left. So look for Roderick to take a shot down the field.
That was a case where maybe Chris Noon should have just headed toward the sideline a bit earlier.
Yeah, I thought so too.
A yard or two less of a gain and get out of bounds right there. He should head to the sideline. Instead, he wants to cut back against the grain.
I was looking for maybe an inside face mask, but they didn't call that one either. So we have 5 seconds from the 35.
So one final play, you would think here, unless there's a quick incompletion.
Well, as expected, guys, great crowd here, beautiful weather. Durfee's sideline here, their side of the bleachers full. New Bedford's full, some fans standing around the perimeter fences. Exactly what you're looking for here on the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, and entertaining football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. This has been a really good game. Like I said, didn't start out too great, a couple miscues and everybody getting their footing, but now we're seeing both sides going at it here and making the other pay. 5 seconds here, and Durfee going to use their last timeout. I wanted to see what New Bedford was coming out with. They did, and Coach Brown will use his timeout. So back into the huddle.
I mean, you have to look for Brunskill here in the end zone. So you would imagine it's a Hail Mary, essentially. You just run 9 routes, go routes. Everyone gets to the end zone, and then you look for Brunskill to high point the football. He's the biggest player on the field.
Yeah, he's got to be your target. If you're Coach Mark DeBrito,
100%.
He's your target. 100%.
And what you're really asking is your line to give the quarterback, Roderick's, enough time to be able to get it there. And conversely, if you're Durfee, you want to pressure the quarterback here and not give him that type of time to allow Brunskill to get to the end zone.
Yeah, and it's a fine line there, right, Joe? Because you don't want to send the house and then you have open receivers down the field. You get an odd man matchup there. So you really, it really is a fine line of you got to give pressure, but you got to also know when to start dropping back too if they're sending everybody down the field in the other direction.
You want to pressure the quarterback, but with as few men as you have to. Here they're going to only go with a 3-man rush.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like that. I'd rather stay with a 4 at least.
Yeah, I agree, because that leaves you still with
Gives you plenty of time.
plenty back there. You're not looking at, 80-yard field here.
And you got men in the middle of the field. Here we go. Throw it to the end zone.
Batted away. Great coverage. Clock has expired, and the Hilltoppers will go into the half with a 21-14 lead here on Thanksgiving morning.
But Diakate was there at the goal line, and there was a chance for him to make the play. Durfee successfully knocking it away, but it's 21-14.
Yeah, let's give Roderick some credit. He flushed out. He came in, saw his man.
And Diakate got open.
Yeah, and in the back was number 2. Coming across was Brunskill, so if he could throw it a little bit farther, might have had him, but incomplete, knocked down, 21-14. Favor the Hilltoppers at the half, Evan.
Well, at least the home fans are happy right now. There's not many times that on Thanksgiving morning the Hilltoppers have a lead at the half, but I will say this, the last time Durfee was home 2 years ago was a big blowout victory for them against New Bedford, so looking to keep the home streak going here in 2023. As we welcome you back inside the booth. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Evan Massoud, Chris Santos, and Joe Cabral. Great to be together once again for Thanksgiving. And your thoughts, gentlemen? We analyze as we go, but some comprised thoughts of the first half. We'll start with you, Joe, on the far side.
Yeah, I would say, first of all, Durfee found their offense when they went to the I formation and the running game. You can see early in these games there's a feeling out process to try to understand what's going to work, what's not going to work. Durfee came out, tried to throw the football early, didn't work. But then they went to the I, started to run the option, and that's worked. It's produced points for them, and they have that 21-14 lead. New Bedford, conversely, has moved the football really all morning long, but mistakes have hurt them more than they've hurt Durfee as far as turnovers. And Durfee has capitalized, and because of it, it's a game of turnovers and penalties, mostly favoring Durfee at this point. They have the lead because of it.
Now, the two big things for me, Evan. First, I'm going to start with Durfee. Right now, this has been the Keith Strong show. He is dominating. He is taking over this game on the offense by making good reads and at the same time been able to run the ball, been able to throw the ball, and he's been consistent doing it. Second has been the turnover phase. That's the one that's killed New Bedford. That's given up 2 big touchdowns, and Durfee has taken full advantage of it. So those were the 2 big keys for me that I've seen in that first half.
We talked about turnovers and discipline and penalties pregame. We thought right from the start, said, not a good start for Durfee. This is why you play the whole game, because things have changed. Joe, you talked about the adjustment for Durfee. How big those in-game adjustments are at every level. Even the pros, we see they have trouble doing that. Durfee recognized early what wasn't working. They changed it up, and they're having success. And Coach DeBrito's talking about that right now to his Whaler squad.
Yeah, no question. And he's going to look at his team and said, we've had success getting the football to Brunskill, so we need to do that more often. The passing game is really the way New Bedford has moved the football the best. So look to that, but conservative passing game. Get the ball underneath, let your playmakers make plays. We saw that on the opening play with Zachary Nunes going 41 yards. Defensively, there's not much he can really change other than, guys, we have to hold the edge. We can't let the quarterback continually get to the outside and make big gains. Yeah, we're concerned about the dive, but the option is there are 3 phases to it. You've got to play all of them, and at this point, we've got to stop the quarterback because we're seeing just way too much from Keith Strong running that option.
Yeah, there was the replay of Nunes' first touchdown there. So we saw some great highlights. I mentioned to you guys earlier, we're going to get into a little bit of sound here.
Yep.
Got a chance to speak with some of the players from both sides. Chris Medeiros, New Bedford's water boy, who has been around forever, doesn't miss a beat. I mean, you talk about heart and soul of a team. It's just so great. So let's hear from our players now here at the half that I got to speak with.
It feels like an honor, just like being a part of this rivalry. It's just a good feeling being able to be a part of a team that beat New Bedford in the past and, have a great opportunity to do it again.
A lot of people wore these jerseys, my dad, my brother. So means a lot to represent the community. It's a dream. Growing up and playing Falcons, I've always wanted to come here, Falcons night, seeing the older guys. I always wanted to be like that, so I'm glad I'm here now and been doing it for 4 years.
Chris, how long have you been here with the coaches and with New Bedford?
What? Forever.
Forever.
Forever, coach?
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
What's your favorite part about football?
Fun. Trying to win the more games.
And he's trying to win more games. And we talked about that earlier. I know both teams would love to have reverse records and be above 500, but we're seeing right now both sides taking advantage as best they can of the other's mistakes, and that's ultimately, I think, in the end of it, as Durfee up 21-14, who's going to come away and win that battle of mistakes? And right now, you guys both said it, Durfee's winning them. So we have some pep rally highlights from yesterday. We have some first half highlights montage put together by Steve Rice, who's joining us. I missed him earlier. I'm sorry, Steve. Steve Rice working the replays for us in the control room. And we also have a promo to show you for Durfee Athletics and recruitment that the department asked us to put together, something I worked on in the spring for this school year. So we're going to take the break. We will see you live for the third quarter. More football after this. Back to Romero. Romero forges ahead. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
Coming in, you're really scared. You might be a little nervous, but I think being a part of a team gives you friends who can come with you all the way through high school, and then coaches looking out for you. I think as an athlete, you can improve and learn the art of dedication.
That shot taken. Cadet will take the shot and score.
Hard work pays off. From my freshman year, starting off hardly knowing anything about sports to now my junior year, having almost all the school records in track and field. I feel like this school shows a lot of opportunities in classrooms and out of classrooms.
Durfee on three! 1, 2, 3, Durfee!
High flip to Espinal. Open three. Got it! Big time hit from Granham.
Durfee has such a great community, such great pride, we're people who love to be here, we love to compete, we love to play, and it's such a great opportunity.
Corralled by Camara, full steam ahead, weaving through traffic, takes the shot, and it's good! Camara, coast to coast!
I've made a lot of great friends playing sports. I really appreciate how it fosters a community amongst all of the athletes, even in between sports seasons.
Good pass up the field, gets some good backspin on it, and it is a loose ball, shot, and it's good! To tie it, it's good! Medeiros on the PK!
You have a lot of support and a lot of people around you. It's a good environment, especially the sports teams.
Great. O'Connell with the three, and the lead is over 30.
I know how much pride it takes to be a topper, so it made me work harder so I can be more successful.
It's really great to just be able to learn accountability, reliability, just getting involved in school, and I feel like the best way to do that is to join a sport.
In the air in a deep left field. Coppola heading back at the wall. It's gone! 3-run home run for Montilla, and it's a 2-run game. handoff back to Romero. Romero forges ahead. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
Coming in, you're really like scared. You might be a little nervous, but I think being a part of a team gives you friends who can come with you all the way through high school, and then coaches looking out for you. I think as an athlete, you can improve and learn like the art of dedication.
That shot taken. Cadet will take the shot and score.
Hard work pays off. Like from my freshman year, starting off hardly knowing anything about sports to now my junior year, having almost all the school records in track and field. I feel like this school shows a lot of opportunities in classrooms and out of classrooms.
1, 2, 3, Durfee!
High flip to Espinal. Open three. Got it! Big time hit from Granum.
Durfee has such a great community, such great pride, you know, where people who love to be here, we love to compete, we love to play, and it's such a great opportunity.
Corralled by Camara, full steam ahead. Weaving through traffic, takes the shot, and it's good! Camara, coast to coast!
I made a lot of great friends playing sports. I really appreciate how it fosters a community amongst all of the athletes, even in between sports seasons.
Good pass up the field, gets some good backspin on it, and it is a loose ball! Shot, and it's good! To tie it. It's good! Medeiros on the PK!
You have a lot of support and a lot of people around you. It's a good environment, especially the sports teams.
Great. O'Connell with the three, and the lead is over 30.
I know how much pride it takes to be a topper, so it made me work harder so I can be more successful.
It's really great to just be able to learn accountability, reliability, just getting involved in school, and I feel like the best way to do that is to join a sport.
In the air in a deep left field. Coppola heading back at the wall. It's gone! 3-run home run for Montilla, and it's a 2-run game. Welcome back, everybody, to Mac Aldridge Field, and happy Thanksgiving once again. Evan Massoud, Chris Santos, and Joe Cabral with you in the booth. It is a gorgeous day. You know, I love this booth. Metal radiates heat, guys. That old booth in New Bedford is a great vantage point, but man, is it cold compared to this one. We're comfortable in here, sun shining brightly. Durfee with a lead. 40 seconds till we kick off here. There's the booth. Look at this. See, asking you shall receive.
Yes, look, windows are open.
What's up,
yes,
guys?
Windows are
Windows open. Ed Pereira with his open window, of course, down at the end. But no, it's great. Kudos to the crew. First half really looked great. We had cameras all over the stadium here, and for the Durfee fans, happy. They got themselves a lead here as they go into the half, but the Whalers getting the ball to start the third.
Two late scores, Evan, in that first half. One, New Bedford turning the football over and giving Durfee a chance late in the half after they had scored. So they had a chance to double up late in the half. New Bedford had a 14-7 lead, but at the half, it's 21-14 Durfee.
So let's talk about second half adjustments, and I'm sure that's what both coaches were doing in the locker room, what they can do to get better on offense and defense. Let's see which team. This could be one of those kind of games that goes down to the end in the fourth quarter, the way these two have been turning the ball over. So who knows? Stick around. Hopefully this second half is just as exciting as the first one.
the biggest turnover of the game really right now is the interception there from Alvin Gaston, who, he's the one that got Durfee there, that second score there, and basically took any hopes for New Bedford off the board there at the end of the half.
Yeah, it was a play that Gaston read well, looking at the same exact formation, other side of the field, recognized they've only run this once. It was a wide receiver screen. That's why off every play, especially in a unique formation, you need the counter off that. So, for example, there, fake that wide receiver screen. Gaston jumps the wide receiver screen. Your receiver goes downfield. He's wide open. But New Bedford went back to the same play, went to the well one time too many.
Ready for the third quarter. Durfee kicking it off. Pooch. And another pooch kick. And it is number 81 for New Bedford there coming down with
That's
it.
Penroe.
That's Penroe. Penroe was called on that personal foul, that late hit at the end of the half there. Springer going down, but jogging right now. He's okay, so we expect him to be back into the game for Durfee. He had a really good first half.
Evan, you want that kick to be more toward the 25-yard line. You want it on an angle like that. You drop it in somewhere between the 25 and the 30, and then you try to recover. When you kick it that short, you give up too much field position, and there's usually someone there like Penroe to make the play.
Yeah, so to your point, Joe, right, New Bedford starting here at their own 39, and that shortens the field quite a bit for a team that's looking for a spark right now. Durfee with a nice play there on first down, but I'm sure Coach DeBrito was talking about mistakes and talking about, what their defense needs to do to contain Strong, Durfee's quarterback, who, as you said, Chris, it's been the strong show for the Durfee offense so far. What do you think New Bedford was talking about there in the locker room, and what do you think the mindset is? We talked about in-game adjustments. That's going to be a big one.
Well, they got to make sure they eliminate, obviously, the turnover. They got to make better passes, not so far, Joe, where we've seen to the outside where it's easy for defensive backs. They got to cut that off. Maybe some more slot guys.
Roderick's shuffle pass and tackled at the 44-45, short by about 4 yards as we come up on the third down.
Evan, other games going on. Diamond playing New Bedford Vogue this morning. What's going on there?
Bengals and the Bears. Bengals had a great season. Got their hand, really was a tough game in the playoffs, having to go into the Division I playoff this year against King Philip, and handed a tough loss there, but good games after that. They're losing right now 14-0, but Coach Bowery, Luke Bowery over there, he's really done a great job with that program. And these two teams had camps together. Durfee and New Bedford, they did a summer clinic with the Falcons and some of the youth football. And so it was great to see them. I came to see that, and positivity from both coaches. Coach Bowery doing a lot over there at Diamond. They had a great season.
Joe, false start on Brunskill right in front of us, so backs them up to 3rd and 9. First possession, something you don't want to have happen.
Talked about mistakes, penalties, turnovers. They've done New Bedford in so far today.
Well, we'll see if they target Brunskill here with a pass. Again, he seems to be the go-to guy. Trips to the right. So 3rd and a long 9, almost 10. Roderick's ranging, coming to the near side, directing traffic. 3 Hilltoppers there. It's batted away and almost intercepted. And the Hilltoppers forcing a 3-and-out on defense.
Yeah, we talked in the first half about how Strong stayed in the pocket, waited, and then finally had to run. That time, Roderick's did that, but just a little bit. He had time. Should have stayed in the pocket, let the play develop a little bit more left, and then once he saw that he couldn't run for the first down, tried to throw the football, but it got batted down.
Yeah, you saw Wood, you saw Jens, you saw Durfee's line there. They were closing in, all 3 of them. So first punt of the day. We haven't seen either side punt. Good snap, straight up and down, big kick, and it's going to drop and roll across the 20 down to about the 18 or 19. That's a great punt.
And Chris and I talk about this all the time in high school football. I guess the coaches disagree with us, so don't like us. Because I think in high school football you have twin safeties just to avoid that type of play. So 2 men back, short kick, fair catch. You pick up an additional 15 to 20 yards. When you have a solo man back there to return the kick, the ball hits so often and bounds like that, and you get an extra 15, 20 yards.
Yeah. So the Hilltoppers will have a long field there. Going to be at the 18-yard line, first down and 10. But more importantly, the Hilltoppers getting that defensive stop. Strong keeping, cutting in, and taken down after a gain of about maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, so New Bedford a little bit better there on holding the edge. But you can see Strong wants to keep the football. New Bedford has to get to the point where Strong is contained so that you force him to make the pitch. If he can make the pitch and they can execute the play successfully, then you've got another thing to worry about. But until then, you've got to make sure the quarterback Strong is your priority.
Yeah, and you got to be careful of the double team going after him, because now you could have guys at both sides of both arms, and one of those arms has the football, and you chance that punch out from behind. And we know Durfee has turned it over twice today, so both were fumbles. So that's also a concern, especially this far down the field. You want to get out of this. Looking at 3rd and long 2, short 3 coming up for Durfee.
Yep, that was the gift to Souza on that play. He got about 3.5. So as Evan said, 3 and about, I'd say 2. And I don't know if we have an injury, somebody's coming off. Looks like number 51, Devon Shields, will have to go off. And
I like what you said, though, Chris, because the thing is right, we've seen a lot of big plays from both sides here, but really, you need only 4 yards of play, and you're staying ahead of the sticks. You don't have to get it all on first down. This is a doable 3rd down here, but a crucial one. You don't want to have to punch yourselves.
Oh,
they do pitch it out. It's going to be tough to cut back in, and the Hilltoppers are going to lose yardage on 3rd down, and they'll be forced to punt.
Yeah,
both defenses here coming up big.
I thought Strong pitched that one way too soon, Joe. I mean, you got to take that down the line more until someone comes up to you, then make that pitch.
Yeah,
he kind of gave it away early.
It was a different play there.
Yeah.
They had a man in motion as a lead blocker, so one, that tells the defense you're probably running to this side.
Yeah.
2, it was a designed pitch to get him out to the outside early. And there's going to be a penalty here against Durfee.
Unless New Bedford does something here.
Ball on the field. So this will be interesting
back
here.
Back him up and kick again. I would.
The question becomes, do you want to back him up? You have the football at the 49.
Yeah.
So fine field position. A short kick. Do you risk it going and ending up being a bit more, better kick? Or do you take the penalty from there 5 yards and get it at about the 44?
I think that's a better risk. I mean, look at what just happened here. New Bedford did not play that ball cleanly. And to your point, Joe, on New Bedford's punt, what if it bounces and it goes another 20 yards and now you're behind the 50?
There is a bit of a risk here. Again, single safety. So let's see how it turns out. Punt returns and kick returns are obviously big plays in high school football, so there is some sense of, in a certain situation, let's roll the dice, see if we get a big return. But you had fine field position.
They had 2, now only 1 with Godine back. Joe.
Single safety Godine, and that's it. New Bedford's going to rush the kicker, and it's a relatively short kick.
Good bounce.
But you can see the bounce there right to about where the football would have been, right around the 45-yard line.
Thinking about it, and we kind of look at the field and where they were, maybe you're hoping for a bad snap as well. You're right on the end zone. You could get a safety out of that if they have to kick it out. A lot of things could happen.
Yeah. So that one there with the 45, but the Indians and the Blue Devils, Joe, Fairhaven scores, ties at 15 all. Dartmouth comes back, scores, goes up 21-15, missed the extra point midway through the 4th quarter. That one's going down to the end.
Looks like it will go down to the end, despite the fact that Fairhaven resting some starters.
And that's the thing, right? It's always so tough when you look forward to these rivalry games and 2 teams that have just been outstanding this season. Across the middle, picked in the air, open field. And a touchdown for the Whalers.
Joe, I talked about the short pass, control pass. A little quick pop pass. Finds him, number 11, Brian Montero Jr. Gets through that first tackle, Evan, and then busts loose and goes for the score.
Yeah, just a quick slant.
Yep.
And Montero in the secondary. And when he made the catch, Evan, there was no one deeper than Montero. So it was just run to the end zone for the score.
Great pick in the air. Here's your replay.
Little fake, little quick, right over. And as Joe said, nobody in the secondary.
No, and he had Goodine screening from behind, so there was nobody touching him. Point after to tie it. Blocked again. And Durfee will maintain their lead, albeit by 1.
I don't think it was a block. I think he just kind of fanned on it, Joe.
Yeah, no question, Chris. Desmond, you can tell, Desmond Brunskill is filling in here.
Yes.
New Bedford doesn't really have a field goal kicker, so he's doing his best. He probably has done it at lower levels, has a big leg. Let's try that. But it's been a struggle for New Bedford with extra points. Certainly, if they get another score, they have to go for 2 again. You set yourself up to lose, by a single point possibly.
See the New Bedford bleachers there, the visiting side on the Durfee, on the school side.
And a good crowd
full.
there, Evan.
Yeah, full to capacity. Durfee always travels well to New Bedford. I mean, we say it every year, this is the game everybody looks forward to. Sure, New Bedford and Durfee play each other in all the other sports, but Thanksgiving morning football, this is the marquee matchup. I think your next best is probably basketball.
No
honestly.
And there were some glory days, let's be fair.
Yeah.
If you went back.
Gosh.
If you went back, there were some glory days, New Bedford and Durfee in high school basketball.
Yeah, and this is a kind of game, because especially in football, one play can just bust it loose.
Yeah.
That's high school football. I mean, even in the game over in Dartmouth, Fairhaven just got the ball, one play to Marks.
Yeah.
Runs all the way down, they score. They missed the extra point, and we're tied at 21 all. Yeah. So it's a crazy kind of game right now out there, as it is here, but it's a good one in both.
Great kickoff. One of the best kicks of the day for either side. Time to protect that ball. Rolling outside, looking for space. That's a great return right to about the 40-yard line. Good, at least 20 yards, if not a little more.
Yeah, at least. I like how he took his time, had patience, said, where's this going to develop? Okay, it's on the left side. I'll get over there and then try to get to the outside. He does, so good field position. Be 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers.
You mentioned Dartmouth and Fairhaven. Yep. I know you're keeping track of that one tight, closely. Before the touchdown, I was saying, 2 teams that have been nearly perfect this season. One's going into a Super Bowl game, and Joe, you said, resting some starters. It's like, well, you don't want to lose that game either on Thanksgiving, but you don't want to lose your star player on Thanksgiving when you know you got to play next week. That's a tough one.
It is tough. It's a tough decision, but it looks like their reserves are able to keep them in the game.
Yep.
Chris mentioned it's a one-score game.
It's awesome. Very exciting. And here we are, 1-point game here in the 3rd. Hilltoppers fake the handoff. Strong going to keep it, diving across the line of scrimmage, and a short pickup there, maybe 2 yards for the Hilltoppers.
New Bedford is really containing the run now, Joe. They are creeping up more and more. The front 5, the linebackers getting there and getting outside a little bit more as well. So let's see if Durfee goes back to that kind of off tackle when they got the pulling guards and tackle coming from one side to the other. So be curious to see what Coach Taylor Brown does with his offense.
Well, they were able to make adjustments very early in the game. Going under center, it wasn't working. And we'll see if they can make some adjustments here and get some other players involved. And a false start. Whalers got Durfee to jump.
Yeah, that was Sanabria on that one from his fullback position.
So now looking at 2nd and 12. Kind of, some shades here of the first quarter, early goings. We've seen some mistakes. We saw the defenses get, make stops and force punts. So it'll be interesting to see how this second half develops. But it kind of makes me feel a little bit like the first quarter, the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, tentative play here, certainly to start the second half.
Durfee breaks the huddle, back to the line. Helmet to helmet with the Whalers. Strong keeping, trying to get around, and he slowed up.
Nope. Nothing wrong with that.
No flag. Strong looking for a penalty, but he was just tossed to the turf. So, of course, the two types of penalties, face mask, which it wasn't, or your horse collar, and, and it wasn't a horse collar. You grabbed the jersey and he just threw
And the I could tell you, wait until he got up. Sportsmanship. Tapped him, said, hey, all good, Strong said. And back to play we go.
So no gain. 3rd and 10.
Looks like, actually, I think, Joe, they gave him about 2 yards because they were behind.
Okay.
Yeah, because of that penalty. So it was 2nd and 12. Now looking at 3rd and 10. Either way, 10 or 12, you need a big play here on 3rd down. Try to avoid punting for the 2nd straight time. Strong looking to pass. And it is picked off. Down the sideline, the Whalers trying to return it. Semedo gets down inside the red zone on the interception. Another turnover for Durfee, their 3rd of the day.
And if you want to be a good defensive back, Joe, this is the play you want to watch. He makes that backup step, watches the quarterback, sees his receiver, sees the receiver coming on a break, bang, steps right in front of him, picks that off, goes down the sideline, sets up great field position for the offense, and a good job by Semedo.
We talked about a play earlier, the one New Bedford ran with the empty backfield.
Yeah.
There, similarly for Durfee, they had run that quick out on the short side of the field. Semedo realized it, had no respect for the deep route, so he just undercut that quick out, comes away with a pick, and New Bedford has a chance to take the lead.
1st and 10, Whalers at the Durfee 16. Hoping for back-to-back scores here. Rodrigues will keep it as he tucks it under. Good tackle from behind right there as the Hilltoppers stop him before any further progression. Maybe a gain of a yard.
You know, when your quarterback's making that play for you, and that's what Strong did on the opposite side, he does a great job of pursuing down the line to only give maybe a 1-yard play.
Yeah, 2nd and 9, ball at the 15 now. Well, momentum has shifted, Joe.
And a big defensive series here for Durfee. New Bedford does not have a field goal kicker. I doubt if they would try to go with a field goal, so it's going to be 4-down territory from here on out. If they could come up with a stop, be a big plus for Durfee.
The key is, because they start at the 16, they can get the 1st down at the 6 and get another fresh set of downs if it takes that much. Rodrigues gets taken down, and I think that's going to be credited as a sack because it looks like it was behind the 15. Yeah, Wood with the sack, a loss of 2, and it's 3rd and 11.
Looked at his first read, Joe, didn't see it, then held on to it and said, what do I do? Well, I'm going to attempt to run, and there was no room whatsoever on the inside.
Wood came sliding in and basically took his legs out, had nowhere else to go. So
usually
3rd and 11.
Yeah, usually, Evan, we've seen down here the one-on-one 6'5" matchup of Brunskill. Just go into the cone, throw it up there, 2-step drop. Let's see if they go. He's matched on the outside.
I think this is the time.
Empty backfield.
Empty backfield, yep. They're sending everybody down the field.
He's looking for him.
Rodrigues got free for a moment, now taken down. He can't get the pass off. 3 straight stops by the Hilltopper defense, and it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, I don't like the formation there from New Bedford because you set up Brunskill on the short side of the field, but you put a slot receiver there. Brings another defender over. Put him on the, put Trips on one side, put Brunskill alone on the other side of the formation, have a tight end, and then at that point, it's Brunskill isolated, man on man, throw the ball up in the air.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Joe. I was literally just about to say, why would you not isolate him, get the one-on-one matchup? But they decided not to. New Bedford has to use a timeout, and I'll tell you, the defensive stops and play in the middle of the field has shortened this game a lot. Only 2:37 here to play in this 3rd quarter, almost 10 minutes gone.
Yeah, so a big 4th down coming up here for New Bedford. As you mentioned, they can get a 1st down at about the 6. So you don't necessarily have to go to the end zone, but certainly I'd like to see them, as I mentioned, go Trips on one side, Brunskill on the other side of the formation, and then have him isolated man on man.
Well, you need 11 yards. That's a tall order to begin with, so you probably need a big play and a pass. So one would think you're taking a shot at the end zone here. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? You turn the ball over at the 17-yard line. It gives Durfee a long field. So, hey, Joe, I think they might have heard you.
Yeah.
Brunskill isoed on the near side, one-on-one, trips to the far side.
He's telling his safety, come over and help me. So let's see if that's big.
Rodriguez rolls out, far side, going to go to the end zone. It is a first down, short of the end zone, but New Bedford's going to have 1st and goal, and they will have 4 more tries at it.
Now get on the center and not in shotgun.
Yeah, no question. And you can sneak it from here.
Yep.
You have 4 downs to
Easily.
do so. There you saw them run, and that was a good play call.
Yeah.
What they did is they used Brunskill this time as a decoy.
Yeah.
They put him on the other side of the field. The safety comes over. Then they have Diacate, just run an in-cut, deep in-cut, gets the ball right at the goal line, essentially, and enough for a first down. Goal to go here for New Bedford.
1st and goal here, 2-yard line for the Whalers.
But here the Whalers again in shotgun.
Yep, and he's standing at the 10-yard line.
Handed off, touchdown. New Bedford has scored back-to-back times to retake the lead.
Evan,
it's
that was a hole that me
26-21.
and you could have ran through.
Yeah, that was
a big hole right there.
I know,
was a
and let's
big
face
hole.
it, guys, there's a reason I'm wearing the headset, okay?
Let's watch it again on the replay. He gets to the left, but see, there ain't a black jersey near him.
No.
That's why I said, Evan, you could have got
That's
it on
a great
that
play. Godine takes it in, but good idea there going to that left side. Everybody fell to the right, and it panned out for the Whalers, who will go for 2 and try to make it a 7-point game. Is that now, what, 4th lead change, I think, if I'm going back,
yeah, that
right?
sounds right.
Durfee's had 2 leads. New Bedford started with a lead. No, 5th lead change then.
Here we go, high snap.
Unbelievable. Back and forth. Rodriguez. It is picked off in the end zone, and it's a dead ball.
Yeah, I don't know why they're blowing that dead, because he can return it for 2.
I know.
So officials make mistakes as well, but
Yeah.
He's not down. He can return it for 2 points.
Well, it's a 5-point game, not a 7-point game. Good pressure on Rodriguez again, though. Durfee's defense has gotten better in this one as well.
So 1:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. New Bedford now spotting a 5-point lead.
And turnovers continue to be the story.
Yep.
It's amazing. But, I have to say, if you're going to see turnovers in a game, at least it's not so one-sided. We're seeing really a great football game here today.
Yep.
Might not be the cleanest game, but to see both sides be able to take advantage of those mistakes, it makes for an exciting thing. We don't always see that.
Football game.
So Whalers will kick off. And we'll get to see what Durfee can do on offense again. As Chris said, 1:52 to play in the 3rd, less than 15 minutes of game time here today. In a game that feels like it's going to come down to the wire. You keep checking your phone. Any updates from Dartmouth?
Nothing from Dartmouth yet, but I know that's getting down because that was in the 4th.
Yeah.
So they got to get close to the end of that game.
Oh, nice cut back and returns to the 35. Another 15 to 20-yard return for the Hilltoppers. They're doing well on special teams.
Yeah, I think both sides. Both sides
Yeah,
have had good run backs and good field position to start.
Yeah, I mean, we've only seen maybe 1 or 2 drives that have started, inside either side, either 20-yard line. So it'll be the 35-yard line for Durfee.
So I think now Joe Brown has to find a way to make some adjustments of what New Bedford's defense now has shown. What's he going to come up with is what I'm looking for.
You got to tell your quarterback he's going to have to pitch the football on some of these running plays. Try to get that as part of his strategy here. Fullback dive.
Fullback dive and turned into pretty tough collision there at the 40, but pick up of 5 yards. You're halfway there. 2nd and 5, clock rolling.
Good block by Gonzalez up front, the center, doing his job to open up that dive to get a good chunk of 5 yards on 1st down.
Strong under center. They hand it off again. Cross onto the emblem, and it is a 1st down for the Hilltoppers. Another 6 yards now. It's a little bit of a different look than what we had been seeing, and I think that's good. You got to give New Bedford's defense something to look at because Strong is the target now, and now you've seen 2 plays where Strong's handing it off, and they had success for 12 yards on 2 plays. 1st and 10, Durfee, under center again. Handing it off again. A little push from behind. Did you see that? Little jump start.
He does that quite a few times.
That's the first time I've seen it. Down right at midfield after a 3-yard pickup. So right at the 50.
Yeah, no need to panic though, Evan. Even though you pick up just 3 on a play,
sure,
you continue to move the football.
Looks like Durfee will get one more play in here, 20 seconds and counting in the 3rd.
Keeper.
Oh, he kept it. A lot of room here on this side. Brunskill will force him out of bounds, but that's a great keep, and there was a lot of turf.
And you can see there, just running the dive successfully 2-3 times.
Sniffs inside.
It ends up setting up the quarterback keep on the option. Big gain there for Durfee, another Durfee first down.
And Nunes was the one that got cheated on that one. He really sniffed inside there for New Bedford.
Oh, did you see it? Yeah.
Oh, big time. Number 7 really sniffed in for New Bedford. And Strong doing a nice job of reading what's going on to get to the outside.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached the 4th quarter as the 3rd has come to a close. 12 minutes left to play, a 5-point game. Durfee getting some rhythm here with some other players. And here we go. Final act.
Yeah, and again, I guess the question will be in this 4th quarter, who makes a critical mistake and can the other team capitalize? That's what it's been about. That's been the storyline for the game today. Mistakes and then your opponent capitalizing on those mistakes.
Well, not too far to go here for both sides as we switch it up. Durfee will be heading in the northern direction now, back towards the school. Doesn't seem like the wind has ended up playing a factor in this one.
Not really.
It's not that gusty. I mean, there's a breeze, but it doesn't seem like it's really had too much of an impact, which is a good thing.
And it has calmed down more and more as the game's gone on.
Yeah.
Again, back to that fullback dive, Evan.
Yeah, I like it. It's just you go with what works, and then hopefully you can, go back to other things that were working, like we just saw with Strong on the last run. That's a 6 to 7 yard pickup on 1st down, so 2nd and short.
And Chris, there's nothing like running the football as far as wearing down a defense. If you run successfully, you just wear that defense down, even if they're trying to do the same thing they did in the 1st and 2nd quarters. It's very hard to do so. That interior is starting to weaken a bit for New Bedford.
And I think that's going to be enough as well. Oh, a little extra there on the far sideline. That should move the chains. It looked very close. And where the line judge went was past the marker.
You're going to say
close.
Wow, very close.
Yeah.
This is one I'd like to see a measurement here. Well, you've had Strong under center. Why don't he keep it and dive forward, right? Joe's favorite play here.
That's all you need to do. Get the 1st down. That is the play.
And he does. 1st down, Durfee. And a little extra again. He's getting a little chippy now. Let it go.
Now you have to watch.
Let it go.
Should be good here to move the chains. I'm waiting to see what they're doing. Nope, they're finally going to move it.
They signified a 1st down.
Yeah, but they took a long time.
Yeah, they did. To move the sticks. It was some type of discussion.
Yep, 1st down, though, so Durfee did get it. They got it, and then so they actually got 2 yards. They needed 1 or half a yard. They got 2. So another fresh set of downs at the 26-yard line for the Hilltoppers. Back to the fullback. Oh, the ball. Well, he was down. He was down. Knee was down and had been touched.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the replay, though. That ball squirted out.
Here we go. Okay, there.
Knee,
Yep.
ball.
Knee
Yep.
was down.
Yep.
Good call. Knee still has possession. Then when his elbow hit is when it jarred. So the knee was down first. So we take you back live here to about the 20-yard line. So again, Durfee looking at a 3rd and short. Third and about 3-yard lines here. 3rd and 3 from the 20. And now you're at a point, you're down by 5.
4 down territory.
4 down territory all day
Sure.
long.
So here, when you're in 4 down territory and you have this type of distance, you don't want to do anything that's risky where you can lose yardage. So an interior run here, to me, is the call.
Well, they got to do what's been working. Oh, well, Strong's
No,
going to
he's
roll
gonna
out.
keep it to
He's
the
got
outside.
room. Just protect that ball. Pushed out of bounds. That's not a late hit.
He was looking for the call.
He wanted
kind
it.
of flew a little bit
Yeah.
on the sideline
Yeah,
there.
you know, it's okay.
But
either way, it's a first down for the Hilltoppers,
Yeah, it's
and that's
certainly
what
a
they
first
needed.
down.
That's all they needed
that
is
was
the
more
replay.
that was more of a naked bootleg, Evan. You just
Yep.
fake the handoff and
Yeah.
just run with the football to the outside.
And quick awareness, something that maybe not everybody would pick up on that replay as he's coming right to us. Notice he switched the ball, got it away from the defenders to the outside, so if it got jarred loose, it goes out of bounds. First unsuccessful rush of this drive. New Bedford sniffing that one out.
A little bit of a hesitation there from Jason Springer.
Yep.
Needs to hit the hole quickly there. Tried to kind of dance in the backfield, and that usually doesn't work.
Actually ended up being a loss of a yard, so 2nd down and 11.
Again, no need to panic here. You just want positive yardage on this 2nd down play. So don't have to put the football in the air. Keep it on the ground.
Well, Durfee's shortening this game. 8 minutes to go. Springer again. Springer runs into a wall after a short gain, maybe only a yard or two. Looks like maybe 2 yards. So looking at now a 3rd and long. Little surprised to see such a change because, you know, that fullback dive had been working. You're getting 4 or 5 yards at a time. I think the ball coming loose there is nothing to really get too nervous about.
No.
And now you're looking at 3rd and long. They haven't really been successful these first 2 plays of this set of downs.
And again here, I still stay with the running game. I stay under center, and I try to run that, run the option and see if I can get it. My quarterback to the outside.
See if Strong can roll out to the far side. No, he's coming near side. Oh, he's going to pass. Great defense.
Yeah, that was Brunskill who came back and broke up the pass. They had a man open, but the ball was just a little bit late, Evan.
Went to the tight end on that one, coming across, and Brunskill stayed with him. So it brings up 4th and 9, an exciting play right there. Coming down in the stretch, he was looking for Cooper Long. On that one, number 17, Brunskill sniffed it and said, boy, I better get over there and run for him. He did. Got there quickly. Now, Joe, 4th and 9 with 7:06. And the big one in Dartmouth with 1 second to go, 42-yard field goal from Fairhaven, and they win 24-21.
That's amazing.
So the Blue Devils take the Indians.
That's amazing. What a game. What a game there. Well, to your point now here, right, 4th and 9. They're 11 yards from the end zone. I think that's why on 3rd down you saw they're taking that shot. 7:06 to play. New Bedford is playing back. A lot of protection. Only 3 men on the line.
Timeout.
Yeah.
New Bedford.
New Bedford,
calls the
excuse
timeout.
me. Yeah, I thought Durfee did it first, but.
Yeah, Durfee hasn't shown shotgun very often here, so New Bedford a little bit unsure if they were lined up properly. Head coach Mark DeBerto calls for the timeout on a key 4th down.
Well, this is one of those plays here. This could be the game. I mean, when you think about it, New Bedford's got the lead. They've had the big plays today. Very quickly, they could score again and make it a 2-possession game. Durfee needs these points. They have one down to do it. I mean, again, they couldn't get down to the 2 and give themselves first and goal, but they're in a short field here. Whalers break the huddle. Now here we go, pressure spot for both sides. 4th down and 9 at the 11. Durfee down by 5 in a drive that's been very methodical. A lot of rhythm with the ground game.
Get him out of the pocket, Joe.
You're going to go with a
Strong.
straight drop back. Oh, he's in big trouble.
He's in big
now.
trouble.
Oh, he's got room.
Passing, end zone. It is broken up. Great coverage. Both players had their hands on the ball, and the Hilltoppers are turning the ball over on downs in the red zone.
Yeah, Sherry and Samedo doing battle there. The big key was they got pressure to him, Joe. It forced him to get out of the pocket and then scramble in the wrong direction. Tough to throw against a body like that.
He made a good throw, though.
He did.
He had the ball on the body of Sherry, but it was great coverage by Samedo.
Yep.
You'll see it here. Finally able to turn fire, look for Sherry, and then Samedo just there to break it up.
Yeah, but not enough that I can turn and be solid with my throw. I got to throw off my back foot.
Yeah.
That makes it even tougher.
And not enough there. Both players there, I thought that was a great view from the back there.
Yep.
Very clean, little bit of jostling, shoulders, shoulder to shoulder, hands on each shoulder, each other's shoulders. So no pass interference or anything like that. That was well played by both the receiver and the defender. But that's a real tough one for Durfee because they took a lot of time off the clock in what was looking like a real solid drive and just kind of stalled once they got down into the red zone. 6.5 to play. New Bedford will look to, if not run it out, try to at least go up now by 2 scores. Rodriguez hands it off on 2nd and 8, short gain.
Yeah, so it's important here, Evan, for New Bedford to at least come up with a couple of first downs so they can get away from that bad field position. They give the football back to Durfee here on a 3 and out. Hilltoppers will get it on their side of the field, the Bedford side of the field, that is, with still plenty of time left. So big 3rd down here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this you can't go for it on 4th down here. And Durfee's defense has been good in the second half. Only the 1 touchdown on the 1 big play. You know, where we saw there was nobody down the field to contain it. So New Bedford read it well and got that touchdown to take the lead. But Durfee's defense here, they've had some big stops today, looking for another big one here. And a whistle. I think it's a false start. Play is dead.
No, that's delay of the game.
Delay
when
of
it comes
game.
from the back judge,
Can't have
that's
that.
delay of the game.
So there's 5 yards, and it makes it a little easier for Durfee now. 3rd down and 10.
I mean, I know you want to run the clock, Joe, but you just you cannot.
Cannot have that. Now that's forcing you into a. You were in a 3rd and 5. You could run the football there, be conservative, and still come up with a first down. Now you have a 3rd and 10. That means you have to throw the football, unless you're confident your defense can hold Durfee. And you know you could run a draw here, Chris, a screen. We haven't seen many of those.
Well, 1-on-1, too, on the outside, Sherry and Brunskill.
Yep.
Keep an eye on that one.
They didn't go to him the last time. Now Roderick's looking.
He's going to have to run
He's
himself.
trying to roll out down the field, and it is.
Did he stay in bounds?
Brunskill
Did he
came
stay in
down with
bounds?
it. The question is, yes, they'll.
Nope.
No.
they'll
Waving
say
it
out of
off.
bounds.
Out of bounds, and the Hilltoppers come
They're
up
saying,
with
all
it.
I need is 1 foot. I need something. And they're telling him, no, he did not make it. And Mark
Remember in
DeBrito.
high school football, Chris, you brought it up.
Yep.
It's 1 foot, just like in college.
Let's see if we see it. Mark DeBrito is beside himself saying, man, you missed this because he got a foot in.
I don't know if we have a good
I
look
don't
at
know.
it, Evan.
Let's take a look. This one's a tough one. Good throw.
Yeah, great job by Roderick to go down the field.
Yeah, hard to
tough
tell
to tell
from
from
here.
there.
Well, this might be a better angle
Let's see
here.
if we can slow it down as he's catching it, maybe we can see here. See,
So the right foot comes down
it does, I just
first.
can't
Saw
see.
some white. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
really
tough to
tough
tell.
because he's wearing white cleats.
Yep.
Very hard to tell. The right
Yeah.
foot did come down first, and it was close.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Well, the Whalers have to punt. High snap, whistle comes in. Straight up in the air, the punt.
Must be a false start against New Bedford, unless there was, again, a delay of game. But New Bedford making mistakes here. Oh, it's
Offsides
against Durfee and
against Durfee.
offside. So still 4th and 5, but it really hurts there because that punt went basically straight up in the air, Evan.
Seriously.
And came down. That would have been less than 10 yards. It kicked back toward the end zone of New Bedford, so it was a very short punt.
So 4th and 5 here. Nobody move and make sure you're lined up on the right side of the ball now because you don't want another penalty. Don't bite at it. Whalers want a first down. High punt, and it's going to be grabbed at the New Bedford 47-yard line. So Durfee with great field position with 4:42 as they look to drive and retake the lead here on Thanksgiving. 4:42 to play in the 4th.
So this most likely will be it for Durfee. You would imagine, since they've run the football so much, you're not going to get, you're going to run some clock here, Evan, so you need to score in this drive.
They got their stop defensively. That's what they needed to do. And now they control their own fate.
That's correct.
So no mistakes, no penalties, no turnovers. Do what works and what has been working for you.
Like that.
Like that. First down, Durfee across the 35.
Yeah, the fullback give there to number 6, Sanabria, and Andrew Sanabria. He's been moving the pile here, especially in this second half.
You have to stick with this. They switched for whatever reason when they got in the red zone. They switched the formation, and what worked for them the whole drive was the fullback dive right through the middle. So as far as I'm concerned, keep it in the middle of the field and keep picking up yards. Don't change it. Going right back to it again. This time the pile stuffs it.
Yeah.
Short, maybe a pickup of 1 for forward progress. We'll see. He's right at the line, so.
But again, no need to panic here.
No.
And I think sometimes coaches, they see one play, it didn't work as good as it has been, so let's do something dramatically different. Stay with the option. That includes a fullback give. Oh, there's an injury here.
Yep, can't get that foot to go down. So he's going to go
that's
down.
not good.
I'm not sure if it's an injury or a cramp.
It is amazing the amount of cramping
Sanabria.
that we see. So the question is, let's see what the trainers do when they get out there. If they push that toe back, then you know it's a cramp.
And so Sanabria now, we're just talking, right, how key he's been. He's going to have to come out for one play at least. You know, if this is not a significant injury, and it is, to your point, just a cramp, because they stopped, he has to leave the field. So now Durfee will have to run a different play.
There's certainly every indication there is that it is some type of cramping issue, at least by what we can see. Yeah, going to get him up on his feet quickly here.
He needs help getting off, though.
I don't know. Yeah,
That's
maybe
not
it
a
is
good
something.
sign.
No, it isn't. It doesn't. Hard to tell here. Again, he's trying to use that right leg. He's keeping it stiff at this point. But it's hard to think that he'd be severely injured and they'd move him off that quickly. Yeah, it looks like he's going to try to walk it off.
So they'll have to do without him. They sweep it. Some room here. Hold that ball. Not a lot of space.
Yeah, Marquise Gonzalez, good job, number 27 in New Bedford. Found the way to shed the block, to extend that play, to make him go even more outside. He was coming up on him, so let's give number 27 a lot of credit there for New Bedford.
And you can see New Bedford there able to hold the edge because no Sanabria. So they had no interior threat.
Right.
They were able to hold the edge there, and they set up a 3rd and 10.
Fonts ultimately wrapped them up there, number 5. But 3rd down and a long 9.
Pass.
No choice but
Going
to pass,
deep.
I'd say. Across the middle! Oh, it's incomplete. He had him.
He had a step on Sameda.
Oh, he had him open.
He did.
Really got a lot on the football there. Needed a little bit of air under it.
Yep.
It was a ball that it's hard to tell. From here, it looked like it should have been catchable, and he went up to make the catch with one hand.
Yep. In the slot, Joe, when you have a receiver cross your face, you are in trouble.
You are in trouble.
And that's what he let him do. And he was right there for the taking. So, 4th and 9, Evan. Play of the game.
Play of the game. We just got word New Bedford Volk beat Diamond 27-8.
Okay.
So the Bengals end their great season on a losing note, unfortunately for them.
So New Bedford's making some changes up front, Joe, going more of a passing down.
Yeah, coverage.
Yep, taking
rush 3. It
taking
looks
some of the big boys out. So thinking that they're going to throw the ball.
2:48 on the clock, and now
looks like Durfee
going to call the timeout.
Yeah, that's fine.
Once they saw the personnel changes, right?
Think.
I mean, this, to your point, Chris, this is ultimately, I'd say, play of the game. This is what's going to decide it. Highly unlikely you're going to get the ball back with enough time to do anything with 2:48 now on the clock. But regardless of how it ends, what a great game this year. Really, I mean, we've seen both sides back and forth, taking advantage of each other's mistakes, answering each other's scoring. I mean, this is what you want on Thanksgiving.
2:48 left, and Durfee does have 2 timeouts, so they could get it back, Evan, if they fail here on 4th down. Use your timeouts, and then New Bedford runs one play and gets it maybe down to around 2 minutes or so, but you won't have much time left. You'll be forced to put the ball in the air.
Yeah, and that's if you can get the 3 and out.
You would
again,
absolutely
right?
need it,
But
obviously.
we're speculating. Let's take it one play at a time. We got 4th down and 9. Trips to the far side. Single back.
Got to get pressure on
Strong.
him. Should have been holding there. There's the call for holding.
Yep.
They got the holding call. No.
Incomplete. And the flag, of course, as well, as
They're
we
gonna
said.
decline
But
that.
Yeah. There was holding.
Sherry double teamed down there.
Yep. Penrose was trying to get in there. He's the one that got held, Joe, on the play. You'll see the official, the head referee, throw that flag from a mile away. Watch it again. Oh, it's coming from your left side. You're going to see the official in the back. Now, see, there's the yellow
All
throw,
day.
and he got him on Penrose. So they will decline it. 2:39 remaining. 2 timeouts.
2
Evan,
timeouts.
for Durfee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fingertips for Sherry.
Yep.
So close. And, you know, I mean, it's not even that play. Regardless of the hold, it would have come back. But the 3rd down play, that was it for Durfee right there. And just a little out of reach. They had the touchdown. So New Bedford takes over at the Durfee 34. 1st and 10, 2:39 on the clock. They will run it.
1 first
Stay in
down
bounds.
here. And they're going to say run the clock, so
Yep.
that's really going to hurt Durfee.
That is big there because it turns into a 1st down.
And they are on Durfee's side of the field now as well. The Durfee 49. That's a big chunk of yards there on 1st down.
And as soon as the sticks are in position,
Yep.
they start the clock.
You already did.
Durfee not using a timeout here.
Now, you couldn't there.
Nope.
They need to get
You need a quick stop.
Yes.
Yeah. Quick stop right now. Hope to contain them to a couple yards. 2:05 and counting. Back to Godine. Stopped.
Now timeout.
That's a great tackle right there.
And Durfee here saying they're trying to call timeout.
They've been trying to call timeout for 10 seconds,
the
and the clock
official
was continuing to roll.
is just oblivious, apparently, according to Durfee. And
Durfee
so-
should get 10 seconds back here.
Yeah,
I don't
but
think.
I don't think it's
I
going to
don't
happen.
think that's going to happen.
I think that's where, if you're Taylor Brown, you got to go over and say, hey, we were calling it. You know, can you put some time back on the clock? If you don't ask them to, they're not gonna do it.
Four coaches out on the field.
Yeah. You just go out there and say, hey, we were calling the timeout. Your line judge heard it. You know, why didn't we get the timeout? And see if they put some more time back on. 1:48 now with one timeout remaining. And then let's say New Bedford runs it on second and third down. You might get the ball back with a minute left.
Yeah, and again, that's if you make the stop. So 2nd down and 10. Durfee held them to no gain on 1st down. Back to Goodine. And Goodine gets by one defender and then stopped after a pickup of 2. We'll call it 3rd and 8, and Durfee gets the timeout immediately. That time, only 10 seconds off the clock for New Bedford.
And if you're New Bedford here and head coach Mark DeBrito, you're telling the running back, you got to protect the football here. Hold it with 2 arms. And then conversely, Taylor Brown has to be telling his squad, you know, you guys are out there trying to strip the football here.
Go get it.
Punching at it, trying to see if you can get it out.
Throw one out for you, Joe, here is, you know, if they get to, say, 4th down and 3, what do you think? Will they kick it, or are they going to try for it?
Still punt it away, I believe. You just got to be very careful because, again, one of the things I say quite often on our telecasts are punt returns and kick returns are very dangerous in high school.
Right.
So you punt it away and you give a good kick returner, a punt returner a chance. It's, you know, I would punt it and just punt it out of bounds.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. 3rd and 8. Nunes dives forward, and he's going to be short, but by only about 1 or 2 yards.
About 1 or 2 yards now. So the question here is the opinion is, are you comfortable with giving it up at the 40-yard line if you don't convert? Or would you rather just punt it away and maybe make it to 20, even if it's a very conservative punt out of bounds? Your scenario where it was 4th and 3 was interesting. This is even more interesting because New Bedford, you know here conversely, you can put the game away.
And that's what they're talking about, and it doesn't look like they're going to kick.
Well, they're going to let the clock run down and call a timeout. So let it run down until the back judge says there's 2 seconds left on the play clock, call a timeout. They know now there's 53 seconds left. You punt it away, you'll get it under 50 seconds.
Joe, what do you call here? What do you like?
I punt it away.
Okay. Evan?
I still punt it away.
I'm not sold that they're going to punt it. Just to the point that Joe said, you know, the return, Durfee's had good returns today. And we've seen some punts that haven't been too great. A la the one right before the penalty went straight in the air.
Plus you have to snap the ball.
You got to snap
make
the
sure
I
that's
think
clean.
they're going to go for it.
All them things.
You're looking at 2 yards here. I think they're going to go for it.
They are.
And the problem is, again, this is risk and reward. If you get stopped here, then Durfee has the football only 60 yards away, as opposed to.
I don't understand how 14 people can come on the field for New Bedford. Figure it out who belongs
I'm
there.
so glad you said
just
it.
at a timeout.
After a timeout.
Running in, running out, running in, running out. I mean,
You're
come
Durfee
on.
here, you've got to commit 100% to the run.
Absolutely.
They're going to try to get him off.
Of
course they are.
Same deal here, and it's not going to work.
Don't move.
I think so. They'll take the
So
5 yards and punt
that means they will punt it away.
it.
They did snap the football, and Durfee will stop them.
Wow.
He's still on his feet. Let's see.
He got the first. What is
the
this
question
all about?
is, was he down? Or are they going to allow him
I have no idea what that was all
to
about.
get that spot?
He will get it.
That was absolutely.
Both line judges back, and he was clearly down. I can't wait to see the replays.
The officials are talking it over here.
Joe,
they're going to mark him down.
Joe, I have no idea what New Bedford's
They're
thinking.
marking, no idea.
No clue.
The center either panicked.
I don't get it.
Either Rodrigues must have been going there just to try to draw them offside, and the center panicked and snapped the football. Rodrigues was not expecting the football. That's why he fumbled.
I have no words.
No, and that's why, again, you play it as conservatively, but as structured as you can. Watch it here. Ball's down, and he's down.
He's down. I can't believe it. But, hey, you know, it's Thanksgiving.
Again,
it wouldn't be Thanksgiving.
And again, more guys on the field for New Bedford.
I know.
Oh, my God.
You need quick plays here. You can't waste
That's gotta
time.
be holding there.
And you got to get out of
You gotta
bounds
get out of
here.
bounds.
That's a terrible decision.
Nope, clock's running.
By Strong.
His knee was down.
And we're just seeing some critical
Crazy.
mistakes here down the
teams.
stretch.
Both sides.
Strong had the chance
Let's
to
go.
get out of
Do
bounds.
not let anyone get behind you.
Airing it out into coverage. Incomplete, but it stops the clock. 18 seconds.
But Strong needed to get out of bounds on the previous play, and
First
you would have
down
still had
killed him.
30-some. You still would have had 30-plus seconds. Now you're down to 18 seconds.
There was nothing there, and just kind of jogged around. That was not
some
good.
more cramps going on here for Durfee. The receiver struggling. Lucas looks like he's struggling.
So
Some
now here,
issues
let's
there.
paint the picture of what the coaches have to have their team prepared to do. So if you're Taylor Brown, you say, if we convert here and get a first down, everybody runs up and we spike the football.
Yeah,
And-
100%.
And you have to be prepared for that. Like Taylor Brown there, and that's not Taylor, Keith Strong.
Yeah.
Needed to know from head coach Taylor Brown, if you get to the sideline, you got to get out of bounds. You don't cut back in against the grain. Yet he did, and that really hurt Durfee. Cost him about 15, 20 seconds.
Got to get rid of it quickly.
Pressure, there it is. Got to get on
Got to
him.
get rid of the ball.
Got to get to him. There's the hit.
Goes it up for grabs.
And he caught it.
It's complete.
But the
5
time's gotta
seconds.
go. They got no timeouts.
But they can spike the football
I don't
here.
think they have time.
Well,
they will. With
the clock stops until you move the chains.
Yeah.
That's why I said
So line up.
you have to be prepared to spike the football. As soon as the sticks are lined up, they'll start it. But they should
Let's
be
go.
able to spike it.
Spike it. They have 2 seconds for one shot to the end zone. This is unbelievable.
That's why I said you have to be prepared. So they did get there in time, spike the football, and now you have one play.
Can we talk about that catch for a minute? That was ridiculous.
It was just throw it in.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a good play that time, a very good play by Strong.
Yeah.
He really threw it up for grabs, but
he had to.
That's all. Yeah, he absolutely had to, Evan. You're right.
But that's what you're going to see
third
now.
and long. Yeah,
You're
and that's what
gonna
you
see it now.
see here. You throw it up for grabs, and you hope someone can high point the football. That time, Durfee with a big conversion, and they give themselves a chance.
And that's all you need.
And again, remember, guys, earlier I said I would have punted away even if I pick up 15, 20 yards.
Yep.
Because now
This is why.
you couldn't reach the end zone.
Yep.
From here, you can do it.
Sure, and everyone's back. Make sure Diakate and Brunskill are back because that's the tallest guys.
Trips to the near
There
side.
they go. There it is. Now that's going to be not deep enough.
No, and it's picked off.
Yep.
And that's your game.
Don't get out of bounds. Easy, easy.
Yeah, time to get off of the. So this
Yep.
is where stuff happens. There's
Yep.
no reason for New Bedford to be on Durfee's
Yep.
sideline. You went out of bounds.
Yep.
Get to the other side of the field.
Yep.
Let's see if we can get through the handshake
No,
line without
I think
any
we're
problems.
okay. A lot of hugging out there right now. That's good. Everybody
What a
went
great
back.
game, gentlemen.
Yep.
I mean, really, this was
Yeah, an exciting game.
an exciting game, a heartbreaker for Durfee, but both sides led in this one. Both sides were productive offensively, got defensive stops. I mean, this was, I'd say, a classic.
It is, and I hope that this shows that these two teams can handle themselves and get back to some real good football, whether it's played here or they can play outside of New Bedford and Fall River. So that would be great to see.
I would love Fenway one day, guys.
Yes.
That would be a blast, the three of us there. But 26-21 the final. The Hilltoppers lose it at home. It's their second straight loss to New Bedford, first home loss in 4 years. And Coach DeBrito getting a little distance from Coach Brown, now 6-4 against his counterpart.
Yeah, that will improve to 79, 42, and 10 overall in this 131st meeting between these two teams, Joe. And it was a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Enjoyed this one thoroughly.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, when you see a close game, mistakes, turnovers, but exciting football.
Yep,
And that's really what you're looking for on Thanksgiving. Exciting football, close game, decided right at the end. When it goes to the last play of the game, you can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
And if I may say, I'm very proud that all of the local media, we finally settled on a matchup number. How many times? This one's got 130, this one's got 126.
Well, it falls
131. We looked at the records, and everybody got it right this year.
Yeah, it goes into how many on Thanksgiving versus they played some seasons during the regular season.
Exactly.
Today we just said a number and said everyone agreed to it.
Oh, man. Well, a lot of seniors on both teams here. It's going to be very different next year for both sides. Your final thoughts as we close out fall 2023 and we look to the winter sports season.
Yeah, well, you take in this last game, you move to 4-7 from the Bedford side of the ball, and you sit back and say, okay, what do I got coming back next year? Who can do this? Who can do that? And we have an off season. Some of these kids, as you know, Evan, will go play basketball now, and some of these guys will do some other sports. So those who are seniors, congratulations to them on the accomplishment of playing this game in this rivalry, and obviously those moving on to college. Good luck to you there.
Joe, looking forward to basketball, as Chris just alluded to, and Durfee getting a little spark from one of the Cougars across the street, who since Conley closed has moved over here, and I know that you do a lot of basketball. You do some college as well, and so looking forward to that, I'm sure, as well, right?
Yeah, well, obviously, I love the seasons, doing multiple sports, getting to the basketball season, do some hockey, and you mentioned college as well, so looking forward to it. And today, one of the things that I'm encouraged by is the sportsmanship. The way the game ended, coaches looked like they were intervening to try to avoid any type of, last-minute disagreement or taunting of some type. And that's really what you need, because sportsmanship, without sportsmanship, sports really are irrelevant. They have no value. They don't add anything to the community unless you have sportsmanship where players are learning more than just playing a game.
Right. And Evan, thank you for hosting us here this year. It was a pleasure, as usual. Obviously, Joe, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Everyone.
And to you too,
Yes,
Evan.
to you three.
And everybody out there watching us here today.
Well, we look forward to winter sports here on Fred TV. We kick off winter sports with what is still called the Prenda Cup, despite all the co-ops now. Driscoll's still hosting it. There's some of our crew we're seeing on camera. But we'll have hockey on Wednesday, December 13th. There's our crew in the control room. Thank you all. So looking forward to hockey and basketball. We'll have some coverage before the holiday break, and hopefully I'll see you guys before Thanksgiving next year, which will be in New Bedford.
Yes.
It'll be in New Bedford next year, and I'll be joining these two guys in the New Bedford cable broadcast for that one. But lots more sports in this high school year to go, and we look forward to it. Hope everybody at home has a great rest of their Thanksgiving. Final score one last time, 26-21, New Bedford over Durfee. Joe Cabral, Chris Santos, Evan Massoud. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thanksgiving, everyone.